What's up?
What's going on, everybody?
Saturday morning once again.
Yep.
That's
Same time every week.
right.
It's weird how that happens.
Same time, same back place, same back channel.
That's right.
Or, whatever they say.
Holy heavy metal, Batman.
Yeah, holy moly, yeah. That's probably what we should start doing. I should get a clip of that and put it on the intro.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
That would.
Well, if you've been following social media this week, we're supposed to have a guest. I'm not sure if there's going to be a lag in time because we know the time differences with stuff is kind of out there. So
Yeah.
I haven't heard anything. I actually tried to reach out to the PR guy, and I got an email back saying he was out of the office until Monday. So,
Yeah.
I guess
you got. Oh yeah, you did get out of office, didn't you? Yeah.
yeah, I did. Yeah. So we may be maybe winging it here for a little bit, or the whole show. I don't know yet.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
You never know.
We'll see. So hopefully they're able to join me because I was kind of excited about this one. It's Rituals are actually a band or a metalcore outfit, of course, and that's one of the reasons. But the main reason is because it's a band that I think is kind of blowing up pretty fast. So
Mhm.
it's one of those things where I feel like if I don't get my shot in now, you know what I mean? It's
Right,
like
yeah.
it's like
Get it? You don't.
start doing stadium tours and they're like, yeah, fuck those metalheads.
Yeah. If you don't get on the ground, you don't get on the ground floor before the elevator takes off. Yeah.
Yeah. So, it's kind of when we've been on the cusp of a few of those, and I've gotten worried. So it's
Yeah.
I see a lot of, like, I had a couple things set up with a couple bands, and then you see some stuff they're posting throughout the week. And you're like, oh shit,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if we're going to be big enough for these guys,
Or in the case of one interview that we had lined up, they had like what? If you remember who I'm talking about, they had like 2 members leave or something.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I mean we had
So I was like, wow.
we had an interview lined up and then 2 of the members left.
Was that Ashes Rain?
No, it was Lutharo.
Oh, that's right. Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
No. Hell, we've had Ashes Rain on twice, but no.
Well, but I remember Vinny talking about that.
Yeah,
because they got the record deal, and then as soon as they got the record deal, the other two's like, nah, man, we don't.
well, yeah,
It's like, what the fuck? So it's kind of like we just signed this deal, and now we can't even play shows. That's
right.
kind of not good,
Yeah.
So.
But. Yeah, he was. Yeah, Vinny was in scramble mode for a little bit there, but I mean, they got John and Fernando now. They got a really solid.
Oh, I think they turned out better, honestly.
Yeah.
No disrespect to the other 2 members that left, but
well,
I think they're in a better. Man, Fernando's amazing dude. Like,
yeah, but I mean, yes, it's definitely no disrespect to any of the members who left, but I mean, it's just one of those things where, there's been plenty of bands. I mean, hell. We've talked about it before. I mean, pick a band. I mean, hell, Metallica, right. Megadeth, and Pantera. That might rub people the wrong way, the Pantera thing, but we know it has. But I mean, you can pick pretty much any band and address some sort of lineup change, and whether it's been good, bad, or otherwise, whether the person who left was liked by the fan base or whatever. I mean, it happens. It happens. And, if you're in a band, like if you're a member of a band that has any sort of fan base and any sort of notoriety at all, then obviously you have some sort of talent. So that's definitely not trying to disparage somebody who's not in a band anymore. Because if you were in a band at any point, then you definitely have more talent than either one of us. So we have no room to talk. But band lineups change, they evolve and a lot of times it's for the better. Maybe not always, because then a band completely falls apart. That happens too. But yeah, no, our buddies in Ashes Rain, I mean, they got a really solid lineup right now, and we're happy for them. Hell, didn't Fernando didn't he just get a string deal?
I believe so.
Yeah, he just got a string deal not too long ago. I'm pretty sure we talked about it at the time, but yeah, he just got a string deal, I believe. So good for him. Well, I know it's kind of we're in a strange predicament because we didn't prepare for a show because we had an interview lined up. Just so happens that this week was the was well for two people. It's still kind of weird how this turned out because Ozzy Osbourne and Randy Rhoads both had birthdays this week
That's crazy. Yeah, that is kind of crazy.
on the third, and then Randy Rhoads' birthday is actually today. So Ozzy would have been 77. We know he died back on the 22nd of July, 7
Hmm.
days after the Back to the Beginning show. Still it's still weird to me that he's gone. It's still weird. And like I said last week during the show, I talked about that documentary that we watched, and it was it was a good documentary, and it's some of the stuff that was talked about in the documentary. It's always strange to watch a documentary about anybody, especially after they've passed away, and you see some of the stuff they talk about during the interview process for whatever documentary you're watching, and some of the stuff they mention, and then you're like, ah, damn, they said it at the time, and then by the time everything was recorded and the person passes away, and then they get everything put together for the documentary, and the documentary comes out. It's just weird. Seeing all this stuff that Ozzy was talking about in the documentary. He's talking about, well, when this is over, when I get done with this, and I'm going to get to do this, and it's like, damn, he didn't get to do any of that.
Hmm.
So it's kind of it's weird to hear he had all these. Of course, obviously everybody who passes away, they had plans for the next day. I'm sure my dad, same thing. Back in June, I'm sure I'll see you tomorrow, and it just didn't happen. But I mean,
Hmm.
so everybody who passes away has plans for the next day. So it's just but it's just strange.
Hmm.
But yeah, Ozzy,
Well,
Ozzy and Randy Rhoads both.
well, I don't know. I don't know how else to try to get in touch with these guys, so I just kind of tagged them in the post. So, I mean, they don't have a messenger or anything, so it's kind of like
Yeah,
your messenger's down and your PR guy's out of town, out of office. So, I mean, it's fine if you're not coming, but I mean, we kind of need to know where we're going from here. So,
yeah.
which,
Again, that's one of the.
that's one of the things I kind of don't like about dealing with a third party.
Mhm,
It's kind of like, yeah, they're passing everything along, but
yeah.
you know, it's kind
Well,
of
it's not.
it's
It's
not
actually
it's not as convenient as
not as
having weapons of God's manager on with them. So
right. Right. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
uh,
No, that's true.
so,
Yeah, that's
uh,
definitely true. Well, I mean, and it's I can't remember what other band it was we were dealing with. I think it actually may have been Brainstorm, but
we did have to reschedule brainstorm, I believe.
yeah.
So,
So yeah, that's not the first time that this has happened where we've kind of been
mm-hmm,
trying to set things up through a third party like a
mm-hmm,
PR rep or a label rep or whatever,
mm-hmm,
and then of course, again, Brainstorm is a band over in the UK, and so is Rituals, and
mm-hmm.
you know, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, we've had such a high success rate, and so many of these have gone off without a hitch. If we have to reschedule, it's not a huge problem. Hopefully it'll be one of those things where we can get them on just like next week, where it won't be one of those things that
Well,
bleeds over into the new year at this
yeah.
point.
Well,
So
that's kind of why I kind of left the next 2 weeks kind of open because I
yeah.
wasn't real sure about for one I already know that there's issues a lot of times with third party
Hmm.
planning and all that, so leave that open just in
Yeah.
case. And then of course with the time frame difference that that's always an issue too. So I think it's more of a time frame issue with um, we're posting it in a which I need to stop doing that. I need to start posting everything in Eastern time, just because we know what time we're supposed to be here. So,
Right.
uh,
Yeah. Yeah.
but doing it in Central, there, the Alps in Eastern, and
Hmm.
then that band's 10, 12 hours away or whatever, and then they're trying to figure out, okay, is it from 10 or from 11?
Hmm. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's so I mean they may show up about 11 o'clock,
Yeah. They
so
might. Yeah, they
so.
might.
So who knows? But that's
Yeah.
fine. If they do, we'll begin the interview from there. I guess so. It doesn't. I mean, that's fine with me. Um, so Cool. So we'll see what happens. So that's all. I mean, we did what we could do. So I mean, it's
Yeah.
uh, it was just a kind of a weird circumstance for uh, you know the week that we're doing at the guys out of office. So it's kind of like, oh, well, there goes my contact. So,
Right. Yep.
so I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. So, I guess we're
Well,
just
I mean, you did have. I mean, where is that email chain? Uh,
I mean, he said he passed it along to the guys. So,
right. Yeah, I remember seeing that.
it's, like I said, it is what it is. We've made do before, so we'll continue to do so if we have to. That's fine. Uh, and hopefully we can, if they can't make it today, we'll get a reschedule for, one of the next couple of weeks. We'll see.
Yeah. Yeah, because I mean, we actually we really only have two shows left, because
Right.
we always take a week off, for the holiday here in the United
Mm-hmm.
States, and then getting ready for the year in review, which will be Saturday, January 3rd, 2026. So I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it's coming up quick. Yeah, we only have
Yeah.
two shows left for 2025.
It's unreal to say that. I mean, it's just
I know it's
crazy.
crazy. It
Of
is. It's
course,
bonkers.
with everything going on with me this year, everything's been kind of a blur. So it's kind
Yeah.
of, it's, it's definitely been a rough one. So hopefully
It's it's
things will
been it's
things
been
will
an
get better for sure. So.
yeah, it's definitely been an interesting year, to say the least. I mean, the good stuff and the bad stuff, so
Mm-hmm.
everything
Yeah.
going on with you, loss on my end, of
Mm-hmm.
course, we all suffered the loss back in July when Ozzy died,
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, been a lot of good stuff, been some not so good stuff.
Mm-hmm. Been crazy to see, people like Ozzy and then Ace Frehley and, just
Yep.
a lot of legends kind of left us this year. So it's been, the in memoriam is going to be, a little,
The in memoriam's up to 61.
that's crazy. You know,
I think this is the busiest one that we've had.
is it really?
Yeah, I believe so.
You might have to find a long song to go with that one.
Well, I already have the song picked out. I'm not gonna. You and I know what song we're
Yeah, yeah,
using.
yeah.
Um, you and I know what song we're using. I'm just gonna have to do some math. How
Mm-hmm.
long the song is divided by the amount of people, and give everybody the same amount of screen time. So
Right. Right.
it's only fair. So I mean,
Exactly.
so let's see let's see. Well, I mean, let's just do it. I mean, we had Les Binks. He passed away in March. Judas Priest drummer.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, who else do we have? I mean, you know, Ozzy, Paul Mario Day, original Iron Maiden singer.
Oh yeah.
So Ian Watkins, of course, he kind of deserved it. Ace Frehley. Yeah. So I mean, well, I mean,
you're
he
you're not
he,
lying. I just
he kind of had it coming. I mean, he had it
uh,
coming. You know,
so,
not saying I'm not saying I wished for what happened to
right.
him, but I mean, you can't do what you did.
And not expect the retaliation when
Yeah.
you're in
So
jail. So it's
yes, I mean, that's just
uh,
you know, honor amongst thieves, that whole thing. So
right.
how do you recommend discovering new metal subgenres? That little AI thing that's in our group just posted something 8 minutes ago that said, "How do you recommend discovering new metal subgenres?"
Well, I think that's
I guess
comes
just
with kind of like what we do is we do,
yeah,
we do album reviews blind, and then
yeah,
of course the algorithm picks up on that. So, I
yeah,
mean, when you do, so this is the thing. Like, I don't know if people knows how this works on Spotify, but if you're on there and you're doing what we do, and we're on there every week, listen to something different.
mm-hmm,
Well, your release radar changes from that because
yep,
every week you get a release radar, which means there's new stuff from bands that you previously listened to.
yep,
So, at this point, I don't think they could make one long enough for me. But
no,
our 30 songs don't even touch the surface of
no.
what we do. I think I listened to 100 and I don't remember what it told me on the thing. 100 and
Oh, you're talking about your Wrapped thing?
yeah, I don't remember. It was 100 and I don't know 20 or 30. I
Well,
don't
hell,
remember. It may have been even up there further than that. I don't know.
let's. I mean, I know people have been posting all of. I know a lot of people have been posting their shit on. Uh, I know a lot of people have been posting their shit on social media, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
all right, where the hell did it go? It was just there a second ago.
Hey, here's Lewis.
Hey.
Grab him up in here. Hey, what's going on, man?
Hey, hey, hey,
Yeah,
hey, how we doing?
doing good, man.
Doing all
Yeah,
right.
like I wanted to apologize. I didn't know how else to get in touch with you guys, but I tagged y'all in the video, so I was like,
Sorry, man. It's
yeah,
pretty hectic times over here. We are pretty busy with life and band stuff, but
yeah.
I'm here. I'm alive. I've got water, and the vibes are here to stay, bro.
Man, we appreciate you taking the time to chat with us, man. It's like,
You know, thanks for having us on, buddy.
yeah, and it was one of those things we were just talking about. I said I feel like a lot of times like getting into these little situations where I'm like kind of like see how these people are like. I'll set an interview up, and then like a couple weeks later, I see them posting some stuff like you guys just did what down or did Download Festival or going to do Download Festival. I can't remember what I read, but
Yeah,
did
man.
download
did
festival?
okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
we did download in it feels like a lifetime ago now, but it was 2023.
23. Okay, yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah. So
and then yeah, and we've just like it's a week today. We just did our biggest headline show
that's what it
in our
was. That's right.
hometown. Yeah, so we just did our biggest hometown show, which I don't think any of us are have remotely processed at all. That hasn't occurred yet. No one has processed any of that at all.
Let's go in here. But yeah, it's kind of one of those things. Like I said, we set this up, and then I feel like the band starts exploding in the meantime, and I'm just like, man, we're not big guy. We're not like a big interview podcast, but
Yeah.
I mean, we got a pretty decent amount of followers, but we're
Dude,
not Joe Mangini and on them guys. So I mean, it's kind of
Right.
it's,
Yeah.
it's kind of like it's kind of like, wow, I don't, they could cancel because of everything they're into now because
Yeah.
they all of a sudden, you get that big that one big show, and then you take off, and it's kind of like,
yeah, man, it can happen, but I mean, like we're I think we're still a long way off exploding. I mean, hopefully it just happens, but
well,
it's a lot
I'll
of
say,
hard work. But I love getting on and just speaking to anyone and everyone. And I think it's I think obviously it's nice to be able to get on and speak to people that aren't British as well, because it's
oh yeah,
speaking to people about like obviously we have a very similar kind of cultural approach to music and heavy music being the States and the UK, but there's a lot of different ways that people kind of like even just your local show kind of scene over in America itself is very different to the way ours seems to operate. And I think you've
hmm
got a lot more kind of from what I've seen and from friends that I know that have toured over there, there's a lot more really cool, interesting underground music that's happening at times that's a scene that we never get to tap into. Like,
hmm so it's like, so you guys haven't been over in America yet?
oh no, I would absolutely love to. Like, it would be, it's America, dude. I ride a Harley Davidson and I wear all American vintage clothing and I drink pretty much exclusively PBR and smoke exclusive American cigarettes. I may as well live over there if I didn't already.
You know, the messed up thing is the PBR that you get over there is probably stronger than the PBR over
Oh
here.
yeah.
Yeah, I
It
can't imagine it
probably
is the
is.
same stuff. I'm not going to be happy and satisfied until the day someone puts a can of Coors Banquet into my hand. Until I've had that, nothing's ever going to be this like because we
Yeah.
don't
No.
get it. You guys have got Miller Lite. You guys have got Coors Banquet. You've got like all these nice, easy going drinking beers, and all our stuff's just like either Guinness or whiskey, and it's just
Mhm.
like it's too much, man. It's way too
Well,
much.
hey, hell, after the show, I mean, hell, email us an address. We can ship a 6-pack.
Dude,
you
don't
trying you
don't
trying to
make
get us in trouble
promises
with
because
customs, man?
if I get a 6 pack of Coors Banquet, I am fighting everybody in like a 4 mile square radius. Like it's happening.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if we could do that across borders, but we might get in trouble with customs over that one. But like a soda can or something might be all right. But I
Yeah,
don't know. We
man.
start we start we start bootlegging alcohol across the border.
I don't know. I don't know about all that.
We're
Yeah, there
gonna be
might be
like,
some pretty annoyed border control people. Like, but
wind up,
I'm up for finding out, man. I'm up for finding out.
yeah, we'll
I'm gonna.
wind up like Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence in Life or something.
Hell,
So,
give me a second. Give me a second. I'm gonna find out if I can. I'm gonna find out if that's even legal.
I mean, if we can do it, I'm down with doing it. Like, absolutely.
uh,
Yeah,
I will. If we can do it, we'll do it vice versa, and I'll send you guys something that we exclusively have here.
yeah. Well, I tell you, like
Like,
I've drank some like the best beers I've drinking in the U.S. are German or Irish
oh yeah,
beers.
man.
Yeah,
The Germans do beer better than anybody else.
yeah.
The Germans
Yeah.
just know beer and make beer, and it's just like so good. We played some shows out in Austria, which obviously, granted, isn't Germany, and
Mm-hmm.
Austrian people hearing me saying Germany and Austria in the same sentence would probably get a little bit frustrated. But we played some shows out there, and we pretty much got off the plane. And for like 4 days straight, I didn't drink any water. It was just beer as every single drink, and there wasn't a single point where I was drunk or hungover because it
Mm-hmm.
was just such pure like stuff. So I'd happily just go back to Europe and just drink beers all day every day. That works really nicely.
Yeah, that's like one of the things we were talking about. Me and my wife talking about to visit other countries, and I said, well, if we go
Yeah.
to Germany, we have to do it in October. We can go taste test everything. So,
Oktoberfest out there is different, man. That's when we were out there, and it was like the beers were coming out, and like at home, if you got like a pint, it's like this,
mm-hmm.
and then we were getting beers, and they were like this big,
I
man. And I was like,
mean, big
just
old
like
bugs.
insane. It was absolutely wild. Whereabouts in the States are you guys from? Sorry, I
So
forgot.
so we're about we're in the Nashville, Tennessee area. So
Yeah.
we're pretty
Nice,
close to Nashville from where we're at right
nice.
now. So we're actually
Nashville has, from what I can tell, a kick-ass scene for like just entertainment in
You.
general, man.
you can
No,
yeah, you can
absolutely.
walk down what they call Music Row and all that. You can walk
Yeah,
down those and like there's the bars and stuff on Broadway. You walk down through there and there's if you walk by those bars, something different's playing at all of them.
Mm-hmm.
And they're I mean they actually had to change it. When they say Music City, it always people always want to say country, which like Chris has said a lot of times, it is majority country, but
Yeah.
there's a
yeah,
lot of rock and heavy metal
Oh
and
yeah.
pop and R&B,
yeah,
and
Yeah.
man.
I mean,
You can find pretty much anything, and I
it's
mean,
Music City for a reason. So it's
Yeah.
yeah, and and you can ship beer overseas.
oh, nice.
It's not easy, but
It's
you
not
can.
easy. You
You
can. Okay.
can. The U.S. Postal Service, you can.
All
You
right.
cannot. You cannot do it through the USPS. You can do it through FedEx and UPS,
Okay.
but there's a lot of documentation, and there's age verification shit that's got to go on the other end, which totally makes sense.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, yeah,
So
absolutely.
basically, you just have to use the right shipper, and so there's extra documentation and
Mm-hmm.
stuff that you have to go through. Like it says, right, alcohol is prohibited item unless you ship it through FedEx with alcohol tags on the outside and a direct signature of someone 21 or older on the receiving end. So I mean, it can be done,
All right.
Well,
No. Yeah.
and it's better to avoid glass if at all possible. So like if we sent you like a 6-pack of cans, it would be easier than glass. So
Well, I don't know if Banquet comes in cans.
I don't think it does, but I mean
I
we
think
can.
they're only glass bottles. So
oh really?
But
I think
well,
so.
then you just have to package it in different packagings, which can be done. Absolutely.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
we could definitely.
Yeah. So we could be done. We could set something up.
dude. I like let's
We could,
let's
we
once this is
see
all done,
we
let's
see
get
how it
together,
goes.
heads together, and let's make this happen, man.
We can try it out.
I'm actually looking right now. Oh, they actually do have it in cans.
Oh, hey, even better.
Yeah,
Oh.
but I will say it is better in a glass bottle. I will say that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
there
do.
are some beers that are way better in glass bottles.
But we'll do what we can. If it's cheaper to do it that way, then of course, or less workarounds. Then
Well, hell yeah.
we'll.
Here's a 12-pack of 12-ounce cans right here.
Mhm.
Oh my word.
Yeah.
This is getting terrifying. Because honestly, if that happened, I'm just going to be sending you guys non-stop photos of just Harleys. Me and the boys they'll be kept for a specific
Uh,
event as well. Like I'll wait until summer next year when all the boys have got the bikes out, and I'll just be like, right, here is just insert 8 photo of a can. Here's another one. Here's another one. So it'll just be like us progressively getting more and more drunk throughout the day.
he's gonna have the find a banquet can in the picture.
Right.
I'll keep one sealed and I'll never open it, and it'll
Right.
just
I was
stay
about to
there
say
forever.
you'll have to
I, I
you'll have
had
to
a
drink 11 and keep one. Yeah.
I had a beer like that when I was growing up. That my dad had. It was in Ohio, and it was it was called Genesee, which I thought was kind of funny because being from Tennessee, they
Right.
just
Yep.
changed the
Yeah.
G, and like that was the name of the beer though, and it was actually not bad. But I kept a can forever. I don't even know what happened to it. Moving like 20 times, probably got lost or something. But
Yeah.
I tried to hang on to that forever. So
There's actually a Genesee County up in Michigan where I'm from. There's a
okay,
Genesee County up
well
there.
maybe that's where it's made at or something.
It's
I don't
kind
know.
of up this way. It's up in this area right here. So
Okay,
yeah,
yeah.
this is what we do in the United States for Michigan.
Right.
This is what we do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm from right here. This is where I'm from. I'm originally from Ann Arbor, and Ann Arbor is right here. That's what we
Dude,
do.
Oh man.
I'm
But
so jealous, man. Me and my girlfriend every single day are just kind of like, should we just go? Should we just like, literally? I think as well, like, especially my group of friends, like one of our good friends, called Piney. He owns a garage, works on trucks, but like he won't drive anything that's not American. So he's got a Chevy truck that he got shipped over.
I
He's
bet
got
I bet
like we
that wasn't
all
cheap.
like, all right. Oh, dude. To be fair, I don't think it cost him that much. I think the truck cost him like I think it was $2,100. It was
Oh
like
Jesus, no, that's
it was like broken, and then he shipped it over, which cost about £1,500, but that's probably about like $2,100 again.
that's not
Um,
bad. No, that's not
but
bad at all.
he's a mechanic, so he just fixed it himself. But like we all just look like we should be from North Carolina. The majority of us, everyone's wearing Carhartt. Everyone's
I was about to
everyone's
say
been
you got the Carhartt hat on. Yeah.
That's
got
awesome.
the mullets and the it's just we're in the wrong place, man. We're in the wrong place.
Well, I don't know. I think as far as your music goes, I think you're probably in a good place. I mean,
Yeah.
it's you guys doing and what we try to we always say labels are kind of monotonous with metal because it's all metal to us, but we do know it has to has to be
It do,
labeled somehow.
it
But
does it does help with, hey, do you, or if you're a fan of X, Y, and Z, then you got to
right,
do this.
right.
Right.
It does have,
Mhm.
they do have their place. They are kind of helpful, but
Mhm.
Yeah.
But I think the metalcore genre is kind of like some of my favorite metalcore bands. You can see I'm wearing a 11 shirt,
Mhm.
a lot of my favorite metalcore bands are from over in Europe. So
Yeah, man. I mean,
even though there's a bunch of them over here, some of my
mm,
favorites are from over there. So it's,
I think it's weird seeing like where some artists actually kind of like come from and kind of like where there's sort of an influx of bands. I mean, for example, take Australia. There like there has to be something either in the water or the educational system over there that just produces the best metal bands on the planet. Like every single band that comes out of Australia is phenomenal. But then
Mhm.
there's a new band I've just discovered. Oh, I'm going to
cool.
kick
Got my pen
myself
ready.
because they're American. Um, oh my word! I think they're called Allborn. I think. Tell me what, I'm gonna. Yeah, they're called Allborn, and they came up on an Instagram advert the other day, and they've got this song that is like it's like kind of like this cross between like country and metal, but it's done so tastefully and it's done so well that it's just mind blowing. I heard it and I was like, that's sick. And I think it's like I think you can hear where bands are from. Like you can hear when you've got say like a French metalcore band because they've got that. There's just a tonality behind it. It's not even like down to like accent. It's just there's the way that people's ears work with what they've culturally been brought up around. There's a lot of music that you can listen to and you just go, oh well, I can tell that that's a German band or I can tell that that's a band from London or Manchester. There are bands where they just kind of have this sonic kind of feel to them where you can actually pinpoint them on a map, which I think is sick. I think that's one of the most beautiful things about music and about metal is because there's so many different things and styles and everything's like, you've got your gent and your metalcore and your new metal and everything's always going to be different, but the reality of it is that everything is the same in its own way. It's just got
Mhm.
tiny nuances that make it
Mhm.
so different
Yeah.
whilst also being so similar.
I like
Well,
I like the fact that I like the fact that man, the way you describe it is perfect. But what I like about it is everyone when it comes to metal, especially when talking about like especially just singers, accents go out the window
Hmm.
when you're listening to music. Because I mean,
Yes.
obviously we know you guys are from the UK, but I mean, if you just put the album on, it doesn't. I mean, it's crazy
Yeah.
how we all sound exactly alike.
Yeah, man.
From a, like I say, from a vocal standpoint, when it comes to just the metal, you put the music on, and everyone is just from the same place at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, we might as well. I mean, hell, we're talking to each other seven hours away across the goddamn Atlantic Ocean, and we might as well just be right next door. So,
Yeah, man.
like you
Yeah,
say,
yeah.
you and your friends should be from North Carolina, which is only a 4 hour drive from where we're at, North
Yeah.
Carolina.
Yeah, man.
We could
That's
be.
that's the thing, isn't it? Like, I think that's also like the power of like. I think that's why the music industry now, like compared to what it was like in the 80s, where like if you wanted to look at an artist and you wanted to listen to an artist, you had to have a CD, you had to buy a poster, or you had to go and see them live. Like,
Mhm.
I mean, what's it, what, like 10 a.m. for you guys? Maybe later?
Yes, almost
Yeah.
11. Yeah, it's
Almost 11.
almost
Yeah.
11. Yep.
It is 25 to 5, and 20 minutes to 5 at night
Hmm.
over here.
Oh
And
yeah.
it's like you're saying, we're just having a normal conversation with what we have as the internet. It is the best and worst thing that could ever happen to music.
God, I don't know how many times we've said that on here.
Yeah.
I mean, I mean, you mentioned Australia a little bit ago. We've actually interviewed a band from Australia, and when
Wow.
the day that we interviewed that band, I was actually up in Michigan
Mhm.
because I had a family member pass away,
Oh,
so I was up there for that, but it wasn't the family member didn't pass away on the day that we had the interview, but I was up there for that, but so I was in Michigan, Jason was down here, and we actually because we were doing because for a while we were doing the podcast on Friday nights. Well, we had
Hmm.
moved it to Saturdays like we're doing now,
yeah.
but Australia is 15 hours ahead of us. So we moved the interview to Friday night.
Hmm.
I was in Michigan.
It was like
Jason was down here,
was it like 1 in the
and
afternoon
it
there.
was I can't remember
I think it
exactly
was
what
1
time
in
it
the
was.
afternoon or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, so we were on
Yeah.
Friday night. They were on Saturday morning, and so it's just and the funny thing is, they were in Australia, and like I say, it was Saturday. The sun was out. They were knocking back beers already, and it's just like
Yeah, man.
so, and like I say, it was three different screens in three different places all at once. Michigan,
That's
Tennessee, and
so sick,
Australia
man.
all at the same time,
Mhm.
so far apart yet just right here in front of each other. So yeah, it's definitely a double edged sword because I mean
Yeah.
you can find the best and worst people on the internet at the exact same time,
Yeah.
and it's
100%.
so and yeah, like when Jason and I were coming up through our formative years and figuring out what our tastes ultimately were and what bands we wanted to see. Yeah, I mean, you had to buy magazines and you had to like write
Mhm.
letters to a fan club and shit like that and
Yeah, man.
hope somebody saw it, which 9 times out of 10 it probably just went into a mailbag and never got seen. And
Mhm.
you had to buy cassettes and you had to wait till Headbangers Ball came on Saturday nights and everything else. And now
Exactly,
it's
man.
just all
Yeah.
right here.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
you mean like you
It's
mean you
just
mean you mean like the Cinderella newsletter I still have? Yes.
exactly. Yeah,
That's
exactly.
so
Yeah,
sick, man.
exactly. Yeah, exactly. So
Uh,
I mean, you're talking a matter of 3 or 4 decades. I mean, things have it's just leaps and
Yeah.
bounds.
mhm.
It's just crazy
Well, the
to
thing about it
where
too is if
to
we were
where
to
to where it started and where we are now.
if we were doing this, say 25, 30 years ago, we'd have to pack all this up and go to UK just to interview him. So I mean, it's kind
Yeah.
of like
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
so
man.
it's
Exactly.
it's definitely better for everybody for that aspect of it anyway.
Yeah.
100%. I mean, I think like the only ways really that it's a really tough subject to even like try and unpack in terms of what's good and what's bad about it. I think for this kind of thing, I think it's incredible
Mhm.
because it's the ease of access, and I think because everyone for the past like however long phones and social media have been so prevalent, I think everyone's so used to this like really fast-paced, consumer-based
Yeah.
like form of life where it's like that doesn't even just apply to the music industry anymore. It applies to like shops and like high street shopping and everything. Like, so I don't know what it's like in the States, but there are shops all over that are shutting down now because you can just go on Amazon and get it to your front door tomorrow
Right.
morning. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So like
it's the
I think
same.
it's for that side of it, like I think it makes the special thing for like for an artist, for example, because like I mean, off track. One of my favorite things about the music industry is that when you're working on something, you've got a product, whether it's like new music or a show or a piece of merchandise or whatever. That it's like it's all no one knows what it is. You're working on it. It's behind closed doors. It's hidden away from everybody. Um, and then it's like this kind of perfect moment where it's completed and you've got it in this big form, but
Hmm.
nobody else in the world knows what it's like. But then it's in order to give it to everybody now, it's a case of press a button and it's like the world now has it. And I love the moment prior to pressing the button because then all of a sudden it's like this is such a special thing right now because nobody knows what it sounds like. Maybe people
Yeah.
know it's gonna come out, but that immediate moment before it's injected into the world and everyone's able to get hold of it,
Yeah.
I think that's a really, really beautiful moment. And I love one of my favorite things about being in a band is the actual work behind doing everything. But now having this thing where it's like bang, it's out there. I think that is where the time put in by an artist isn't as fully respected by the industry as it could be because you just have to go on Spotify and you have to go, right, I'm
Yep.
going to listen to that while I'm in the gym or I'm going to listen to it while I'm driving to work. Whereas if you wanted to listen to an album 20 year ago, it's like, right, it's out. I've got to go and queue
Yep.
and I've got to give my time
Yep.
now before I can appreciate their time. And I think that's one of the biggest things that we've lost
I.
is being able to have that same like time for time sort of like give and take where it's like the artist has spent a year going, what if everybody hates this?
Hmm.
And then being able to kind of like listen to it and then you never have to say whether you've listened to it and if you like it or not. You can just listen to it and go, nah, I'm not putting it on my Instagram story. I'm not going to tell anyone that I've listened to it. No one will know that you've listened to it and enjoyed it. Whereas if you've bought a CD, you've, you know, queued, there's a show of appreciation. And I don't even think it's a case of people need to be turning around and going, "Ah, I love this, I love that." I think it's just a case of the real human kind of show of love behind something just isn't the same anymore. And I think that cuts across to shows as well. Like you don't have to buy a ticket to a gig anymore. You can wait until your mates have gone. You can watch their Instagram stories for the one song that everyone wanted to see, and you go, right, I've seen that song. I didn't have to go to the gig. And I
Yeah.
think it's like now that we've got social media, that is literally it's never going to go away. It's become too important now. We
Hmm.
can't live without it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
We've found out how true that is with
yeah,
having the show. So yeah, I mean, it's
Yeah.
just one of
Well,
those things.
it's
People wouldn't know who we were if we didn't have social media. So
exactly. So it's that's why it's beautiful, but that's why it's also terrible.
yeah,
And it's
let me.
like
hmm
it's a
Yeah.
total double edged sword
Yeah.
because
Let.
it gives so much, but
it's
it
like
takes
any
away so
it's
much as
like
well.
anything else you know you get if it seems great, and then of course somebody's going to abuse
Yeah,
it or misuse
Yeah.
it, and
yeah,
then you can't like say, oh well, these 30 people are making it intolerable for these 1,000 people. So I mean, it
oh
doesn't
god, yeah, yeah,
weigh out enough for them to say, okay, we could do away with it. So,
yeah,
but yeah, I agree. Like if to me, it's like when we first started on Facebook, it was to find like old high school buddies and stuff like that that you hadn't seen
yes,
in 10, 20 years, and now it's just everything's on there. Everybody's political, everybody's sharing
Mhm.
music, everybody's sharing
yeah,
comedy shows. It's like, so I mean, it's kind of gotten where you're sharing every aspect of your life on there, not just
yeah,
trying to connect with people. So
yeah,
it's kind of it's kind of blew into something it wasn't made for. I guess is what I'm trying to
Yeah, I
say.
suppose so. But at the same time, I think that's the human way to do it, isn't it? We all just
Mhm.
we take something that has been created,
Yep.
and it's like, well, everyone's so different. You'll never find two people that are exactly the same. So everyone's got all of their influences, and then I think that's why it's become so populated with such a dense kind of diversity of everything, because it's just human. And I think, like, as as frustrating as it can be and as amazing as it can be, it's just like it's just human. It's just, and I think
Yeah.
that's why I love it so much. I like, for the band, for like our band, for example, I do the majority of like main sort of social media work. And it's because I just absolutely love trying to understand people, because people are the hardest things in the
Yeah.
world
No
to
shit.
understand.
Yeah. I
Right.
mean, yeah.
And
Good luck with
trying
that.
to like trying to make something, you can make a post and you can make a photo that you go, oh well, that looks amazing, I'm gonna post that, and it's gonna get 400 likes, and you post it and it gets like 80, and you're like, eh. I
Yeah. No shit.
thought
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
really
I
cool.
know. I
It's
know.
like trying to understand people, man. And that's why, like, I like to, and that's why, because obviously social media can be and is so heavy on, in terms of like everyone's personal preferences. I keep, like, for my social media and like for my own self, it's so simplistic. It's literally
Mhm.
just like photos of the shit that I do, photos of what I love, and that's pretty much it. I don't go into any politics. I don't go into any world affairs, because, to be brutally honest with you, is I don't know enough about anything. So I would
Mhm.
never try to
Yeah.
even make anything. I wouldn't try to pretend I know stuff. I just talk about what I know, and that's the way I keep it. But
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
I
I
actually.
know,
I,
I know, like I don't like to do those things, but a lot of times I like to put a common sense touch on some of that stuff to
mm,
make people think about what they're, sharing or what they're, because a lot of
yeah,
times, I see a lot of people sharing stuff just because this site posts something, you share it, and then that
yeah,
doesn't make it true just because that's, even with music, like you said, we see stuff on Loudwire and all these things all the time, and then me and Chris will wind up like we'll stay away from some stories because of like, yeah, I don't know, man. There's more to that shit than what's out there right now. So let's just hold off and see what happens. And
yeah,
then 2 or 3
yeah.
weeks later, they're retracting stuff. It's
yeah,
kind of
man.
like, well, see, that's why we didn't do that. Because it's something. We're reading through it and they're like, nah, something's missing here. And it's kind
Hmm.
Yeah,
of like makes you think like, okay, something's missing here. We probably should hold off and do the whole story. Of course, we're still doing, which is crazy to me. We're still having to do updates on a damn Marilyn Manson stuff every once in a while, where he's gotten in trouble with all that sexual misconduct and everything,
Yep.
yeah,
and like because every case I guess has is different, so it's kind of like, oh well, this case got dismissed, this case got dismissed, so it's kind of
yeah,
like we judged the guy in the beginning going, oh hell, he probably did that shit because we know how he is, but
yeah.
but him getting everything dismissed, did he pay him off? I don't know, I wasn't there, but the thing but the
Exactly. Yeah,
but the thing is, it got dismissed. So now you're going to have to stick with, if you're a media outlet, you're going to have to stick with whatever opinion you put out there in the beginning of this, and you
yeah,
can't. And now you're going to either have to do a retraction, or now you got to backtrack and apologize. I mean, something's going to have to happen here and make you
Hmm.
look bad because he's getting everything, whatever, expunged or whatever.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
that's kind of like the rough part of being in media now is because when we grew up, you reported the news, whether you agreed with it or didn't agree with it. The news was
yeah,
news. It's like,
Yeah.
5 people died in a car accident. Who cares who fault it was? 5 people just died. You know what I mean? It's
yeah,
kind of like, well, some guy, some illegal driving a truck or some drunk driver or whatever. Okay, well, we didn't. I mean, it doesn't matter who did all that stuff. And then if you say that, and then they wind up, their BAC comes back and it's nothing in there. So now you
mhm,
just blamed a guy for being drunk and killing people that wasn't drunk. So
yeah,
it's kind of like that's the way
Got to
it's
be
not.
careful.
There's no investigative, I guess, reporting anymore. It's more
mm,
just this is what I'm.
It's
It's like
it's sensationalism.
yeah,
yeah,
A
yeah.
lot
It's
of it, a
mm,
lot of it is sensationalism. It's like how many
what
eyeballs or
you know.
how many clicks can we get and
There you
stuff
go,
like that.
clicks.
And
Yep.
yeah, I mean it's
yeah,
all it's all immediate.
I wish. I
We have
wish.
to we have to draw these people in. We have to get viewers and subscribers and all this other shit. And So I mean,
Maybe
and
maybe that's why we don't have as many clicks as they do, because we don't
well,
spew the bullshit.
that's the thing is we're just well, the funny thing is, I mean, we're just trying to, and like Jason, like you just said, we're trying to be as honest as we can. And when it comes to talking to to people in bands like you, Lewis, I mean, we're just trying to we're trying to get to know you. We're trying to
Mhm.
introduce you to our fan base. And what better way to get the actual scoop than have somebody from the band come on,
Yeah,
get get to
firsthand.
You
get to
see,
know
that's
get to know them personally, get to know them musically, get to know get to know their art, get to know their work, get to just get to know them as people. And then the stuff that we read on days that we don't have guests, every story that we read, we're like, hey, we got this from here. It
yeah,
didn't come
Mhm.
from us. This is where we got it. So we're
yeah,
just reading stuff from publication X, Y, and Z. And like Jason said, there's been some stuff where we've either held off, or after we've read the story, we've kind of been like, if this then that. So
Mhm.
mm,
but we do try to be careful, because there are things that we don't want to erroneously report, because like I say, we're just getting stuff from another source. But as
You
far,
don't want to slander anybody.
no,
Or,
we're just trying, we're trying to be fair and honest when it
yeah,
comes to
yeah,
that. And then what's more genuine than sitting down and talking to one of the actual band members, who actually, like you said, puts
yeah,
their
man.
heart and soul into this, and you know does put in the 12 to 15 months worth of work on an album
Mhm.
or an EP, or in your case an EP. So I mean, it's the most organic way we know of doing it, considering that this isn't, we're not professionals by any
Yeah,
stretch. We've said that. I think we say it every week that we're not. I think we say it every week, that we
Yeah.
are far from professional when it
but
comes
I
to
I
this.
love that,
So
man. I think that's the best way to do this stuff, because like the most important thing behind all forms of kind of like, whether you're a media outlet, or you're a band, or you make mugs for coffee or anything, I think the most important way for anyone to even try and grow a fan base, or grow like sort of the way their content's received, is to just be themselves, to be who they are. Like we don't pretend to be anyone other than just four lads that absolutely love the music we make.
yeah,
Like we don't stick to any kind of genre specifications when we're making stuff. I mean, we're making new music now that one of the songs isn't even remotely comparable to the stuff we've done prior, and we don't try to
Interesting.
kind of stick to any form of sort of like mold. We just kind of go, well, how do we feel at the moment? Who do we feel like we are in ourselves right now? And it's like, well, this is where we feel like we're going. So that's where we stick to. We stay true to who we are. Um, and I think being that the way you move forward, whether it is like I'm saying, like you're a media outlet, or you're in a band, or you're another form of creative, I think just being genuine is just the best way to kind of conduct yourself with that, because then people can't look at it and go, oh well, that's not real. That's, they're not
yeah,
doing that. They're not being authentic. It's
yeah,
like, I don't know how much more authentic I can be. Like
yeah, right,
this,
Mhm.
you
yeah,
can't be any much more like genuine than if you literally. I mean, the show last Saturday, we've grew up in this city of Newcastle
yeah,
over here, playing shows in venues. I mean, like our first ever headline show we did was in a venue that is like 100 capacity, downstairs below a bar. And I think we sold like 30 tickets
hmm,
years ago. Um, and we've like worked our way up and played bigger and bigger shows. And then we played a couple gigs beginning of this year with an American band. Well, I don't even know why I need to say American band. We played a couple of shows with a band called Wage War, which you guys will know.
oh
Unbelievable
yeah,
band,
Yeah, love Wage
fantastic.
War.
So we played a couple of shows of them, and we were like, we're gonna give a go of playing like a hometown show that is like a big like production show with like massive stage, like big room, and like really try and do something that we'd never done before. And we had no idea whether or not we'd be able to put the capacity of the venue in there. And then like we came round to the show, and we played this packed like, you know, by the end of the night, it was sold out. Um, it was just hundreds upon hundreds of people in this one room, and like, I never want to go on stage and pretend to be somebody that I'm not. And yeah, I think everyone that listens to our music and that is a fan of the band knows how important it is to us. Like the last song, I just pretty much stood on stage and cried my eyes out the whole way through it. And then
Yeah.
like when we were saying thank you to the crowd and everything, and like we finished the show, there was just all these people that were just like so like supportive of what we're doing. And I just stood there and I just cried my eyes out on stage. And I
Yeah.
think, you know, I look back at it and I go, could I have maybe been a bit more like, yeah, this is cool, I belong up here kind of thing? Could I have maybe added a bit more fake ego to it? And it's like, no, like that was the reaction I had
Hmm.
because it had been 11 months of stress and like upset and pressure. So when it came around to it and it was done and we actually achieved more than what we thought we could have achieved, it was this total overflowing of emotions. I mean, like for four guys, we are very, very, very emotional people. We will get upset about the smallest of things, and when working on music and everything, we are very emotional human beings in our band. And for all of us on that stage, it was just like our entire reaction was just like total like like overfilled joy and
Yeah.
just like happiness, and that just came out in like, you know, I was standing there with my arm round our drummer and we were both just looking at each other like, mate, what's going on? And we were just crying, man. And like
Well, I
it
mean,
was just beautiful, it was amazing. And that's how that's when I connect more with the band. You know, I love bands that have like like a kind of an attitude or maybe even an image. For example, you know, our all powerful gods in Sleep Token. You know, no one is that big, but I just I love that band, but I just can't enjoy watching them live because I don't feel like I connect with them. And like I feel like they go on stage and they perform and then there's just nothing said and then they go. And I'm like, nah man, I want to watch a band who are on stage. I don't know if you'll know them, a band called Bleed From Within.
oh yeah,
Love Bleeping Them.
oh
We
yeah,
just,
Yeah,
oh yeah,
I
man.
just,
yeah,
actually, I just seen them on the Trivium and Bullet for my Valentine tour. So
Yeah, man.
they were
So,
actually, one of my bucket list bands, and it was cool to knock out them and Bullet for my Valentine because I had never seen either band
yeah.
until
No,
that
I
night.
was
So
so I was supposed to go to that. I was supposed to go to that show that night, and I actually had a ticket to go, but I had actually started a brand new job
oh man, yeah,
that
fair play.
week, and when they hired me, they put me on night shift.
Oh, dude.
funny.
Oh, mate. Well,
So
you'll have to see him on that headline tour they're coming back and doing, man. Because
yeah.
like I saw them headline the Barrowlands. I mean, I've been a fan of Bleed Within for years. I saw them
Same.
support Cancer Bats in
Oh,
a
okay, yeah,
like 150 cap venue in Newcastle, and Bleed Within played to about 80 people. So I saw that show, and then I watched them headline like their biggest, like hometown headline show, and obviously they did 2 nights, and I saw the first night, and I just watched them, and all of them on stage. There wasn't any like ego, there wasn't any pretending. They were just like, we cannot believe we're here,
yeah,
and then getting to watch the emotion on their vocalist's face was like, that's what I want to be like. I want to
yeah,
be that real and I want to be that authentic because I just felt like I was having a moment with them. And like, and
Hmm.
these other 2,000 people in that room, I felt like we were all having a moment exclusively with him.
yeah,
And that for me, above all else, above all the work, above all like the behind the scenes stuff, above all the milestones that we are very fortunate to be able to kind of exceed, and above all like the kind words from everybody, being able to share that raw emotion that you can't just tap into. You can't just go, I'm gonna feel this right now. It's like it's reserved for that moment and that moment alone. That there for me, that's the best thing about music, is
yeah,
being able to have that emotion in that moment with someone, whether or not it's like it's total like they kind of believe what's going on. They're smiling, they're laughing, or they're crying their eyes out. It's beautiful. That's the best thing about all of it.
It's
yeah,
funny about that because another one of my bands that I always kind of put them together with Bleed from Within. But Bury Tomorrow is another band that I've
Mm.
had on my bucket list forever, and I haven't gotten to see yet. So
What a band, dude! What a
yeah,
band!
so it's
Unbelievable band.
I mean, you guys are definitely in good company over there. Like I said, with the genre of music. So I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I mean, that scene over here. I mean, like on the new EP, we've got Tom, one of the vocalists from Bury Tomorrow, on a song, and like
mhm.
to be able to say that and be able to do that was for a band our size to be able to kind of have something to do with a band like Bury Tomorrow was just like what is happening here. It was a total like insane moment. But yeah, I mean, Bury Tomorrow are unbelievable. I think that entire kind of that size of band, like Architects, Bury Tomorrow, While She Sleeps, like to be able to come from a country of music that has those as our spearhead bands, insanely fortunate. Insanely fortunate.
And also, Silosis is another one of those bands that's on my
Oh
Oh,
yeah,
list.
they've
dude,
got
yeah.
yeah they've
Yeah,
got they've got
yeah.
something coming up
I
soon
was
too.
I was so mad because when they announced that tour, they had Silosis and Bleed from Within at
Yeah.
first, and they didn't say where they were going to be at. So I'm like, oh my god, I get to knock out both of those bands. That's going to be fucking awesome. And then come to find out they weren't on the Nashville show, and I'm like, oh come on, man. Like,
Well,
but
have you seen the Bleed from Within headline tour? Because that's
I
got
haven't seen a headline tour. No,
so they're doing a US tour and it's Bleed from Within, Silosis,
I've
Great
seen that.
American
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Ghosts.
Are they?
Um,
Are they even? I don't remember if they were coming near us or not. I think that maybe they were coming to Atlanta. Maybe in the
Uh,
closest.
I think so,
I'm not
I'll
sure.
check it out real quick.
I see a
which is
US
not
tour
yeah
and I have no idea how close or how far apart some of these places are. But
right yeah it's a big ass country.
Yeah,
yeah,
I was going to bring that up earlier because I seen like a reaction video of bands that this guy was showing them maps of the U.S. that they haven't never been over here, and they were showing like Texas. They were just showing the state of Texas. They were like, "Oh, is that it?" They said, "No, that's just one state." They were like, "Holy shit," because Texas was already bigger than where they were at. So,
Yeah,
so it was kind of funny. But
yeah,
I think our longest drive we can do here in some states over there doesn't even leave the state, and that's us driving from one end of the country to the other.
yeah. Like Texas itself, like from like the easternmost point to the western. And I'm not even talking about north to south because that actually might be longer. But
mhm.
if you take one of the interstates across Texas, I think it's damn near 900 miles. That's just one state.
Oh, it's a good
That's
probably.
just one state.
So I drove to El Paso. So from
Bonkers, man.
From the Texarkana line to El Paso is probably a good 14-hour drive.
Eh?
Yeah. Yeah.
I fully understand now why some people turn around and say they've never left their own home state.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not yeah, depending on what state you're talking about, that's actually not hard to do because
Yeah,
Montana is probably 600 or 700 miles across from east to west.
What? That's
Yeah.
just too
I mean,
much,
hell,
man.
well, I mean, the part of Michigan where I'm from, it takes almost 5 hours because Michigan's got the two peninsulas, right? So the part of Michigan where I'm from, it takes about 5 hours to get to the Upper Peninsula.
5 hours.
Mm-hmm. And that's staying within the same state.
well, what
Dude,
is it?
I could drive to London and nearly to the bottom of the country from hours in 5 hours. That's insane. That is
Well,
wild.
so our state's even weirder because you can go north to south in about 4, but if you go east to west, it's like 10. So
What
because
on
we're
Yeah.
earth,
yeah
man?
Yeah, Tennessee from north to south is only I think if you're able to drive in a straight line, a completely straight line. The northern state line and the southern state line are only 95 miles apart. But the state is like it's like this tall, but it's like
yeah
this wide.
this long yeah.
it's
That's wild, man.
it's fucking weird. The geography is strange.
Mhm.
That's
Pretty wild.
insane, dude.
It is. It's weird.
I know we've talked about everything but rituals at this point, so I feel
Nah,
like it.
screw that band, man. I want to talk about America.
We
That's what I
started out.
want to do.
Welcome to Metalheads Unite with special guest Coors Banquet.
Shit, I don't even drink alcohol, and I would gladly accept a Coors sponsorship.
Right? We'll
Yeah,
take you
man.
sponsor
I'd
for
let you
sure.
drink it all, Jason. I'd let you drink it all.
Well, it'll have to be after February because I can't. I'm not clear to do any of that until
Well, that's true.
not quite yet. So we'll
Yeah.
see. But yes. So we're talking about you guys. Like, so for one, it's hard to find anything on you guys. So I don't know if you
Mm.
that's purposely done because like, hey, you don't even know all that
It's
about us.
serious. No,
Just
I
come
have
see
no
the.
idea.
We all we post is shows. You have to come out to get all that information. So,
That's right.
but so have all four of you guys been together since the inception, or?
So we started the band in 2018.
Mhm.
And it was me and the guitar player. We were in college and we were like, I would really like to start a band, but no one wanted to. We kind of like we were best friends. We both played guitar, and we were both like, I really want to start a band. He was like, yeah, I really want to start a band, and he was like, I don't know who I'd start a band with. I was like, I don't know who I'd start a band with either. And we kind of had this conversation for like 3 or 4 months where we were both like, have you found anyone to start a band with? He was like, no. So we kept going back and forth. And then one day we were both like, should we just start a band? And it was this light bulb moment. We were like, oh yeah, let's do it. Um, and then we kind of just like we were like what we were 18. We didn't know how the music industry worked. We
Yeah.
didn't know what to do. We didn't know how anything was done. I couldn't sing, but we were like, who's gonna sing? And he was like, you sing. I was like, okay. And so we mucked about for a few years. We had like a couple different people in on lineups. And then one day we were kind of like, should we take this seriously? It was when COVID happened and everyone like basically the world just stopped.
Yep.
Um, and up until that point, we like I think we played a show in Glasgow and a show in Leeds and about 75,000 shows in Newcastle. So we didn't know what we were doing. We didn't know how anything was done. So we then went into lockdown. We were like, we've been given this olive branch from the world in a strange manner, to basically spend all our time on music. So we were like, okay, we got onto some Zoom calls and we basically spent the entirety of lockdown making music. And we both had home studios from like working on music loads over the years. So we were pretty fortunate because we were one of the only bands who was able to kind of make music, send it to someone to get mixed, and then release it. So we put some songs out over lockdown,
Mhm.
um, and people were like, "Oh, amazing, something new to listen to." So we kind of got like a little bit of traction off the back of that. Came out of lockdown in 2021 and we got our bass player and drummer in, and then that was kind of it. We pretty much went into kind of like heavy focus mode, and we just kind of worked really really hard on stuff. We stopped kind of worrying if people would be annoyed if we emailed them asking for a gig, and we were just like, we're going to email everybody. So we emailed everybody. um we got our first kind of big kind of show with Skindred.
Mhm.
So we did that in 2021. And then kind of just we had like a mega DIY approach for like 2 years. Um, sorry, I've just gotten over
Oh, you're
a flu, so my voice is like trying to drink plenty of water so that I don't
yeah,
lose
Mhm.
no,
it.
that's a
But
good thing.
so we then basically just booked loads of gigs. We would just message a venue and be like, "Hello, we are coming to play your venue on this day," and they were like, okay." We're like, "Bye." That was it. And we just booked loads of like 3 date sort of weekends where we would go away and like play like a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, then just keep doing that. We did it loads and loads and loads. And then for some reason we got picked as the winners of the Kerrang deal in 2023, um, which we got to like go and record an EP with Marshall Records, and then we got to like play a download, and then like Kerrang were kind of like, oh hello, we now know who you are, which was very strange after watching like Kerrang and listening to it to like seeing that Kerrang sort of following us on Instagram. I was like, this is very weird.
Yeah.
So we did download on like the big like anniversary year with like Metallica doing two headline shows and like Slipknot and Bring Me, and it was like this kind of full circle moment where we're like, oh my word, like we've played this festival and it didn't feel like we were out of place. It kind of felt like we had worked hard enough to almost belong there in a certain way. And then the rest of that day was very weird because I just remember standing like in the artist village backstage and like chatting to the guys in Polaris and Ice Nine Kills and seeing like members of bands walking around, like seeing different like people from different bands, and I'm just like, this is absolutely insane. Like, I work in a bar, dude. I should not be back here speaking to you people. You're like, you guys are like gods, and we're just like, there was I can't remember who it is now, but someone had turned around in a band and he was like, hey man, come over here. And I was like, hello. And he was like, you're the only fucking person here that I don't recognize. I was like, yep, that sounds about right. So it was that was a totally wild moment. And then I think because for a little while we were like that one band that everyone was like, oh, this tiny band are doing something cool. Um, a lot of people seemed to just like pay a bit more attention for a while. And we were kind of like, right, well, we just immediately started doing new music. And we just kind of toured pretty heavily since then. We got the gigs with Wage War, and we put music out, and it's kind of just been non-stop work for like the past 4 years. We basically kind of came out of lockdown and we're like, right, we're just gonna make this the only thing that we will do no matter how tired we are, essentially. And it's just been constant work, and we absolutely love it. But we've been able to get to a position where we can go and play shows with bands that we've looked up to for years, and play like headline shows where there's hundreds of people coming out to them, and it's like starting to get to a point where it's actually starting to kind of turn over for us, and like
Mhm.
we're getting the opportunity to like play shows next year that 2 years ago people would never have asked us to play. So we're just extremely fortunate and extremely like appreciative of like the opportunity that we're in. And it's a case for us is it's like we've done loads of hard work, but we've not even taken the lid off how much work needs to be done, really. So it's just more and more hard work to be done, and many more moments of absolutely loving what we get to do, really.
Did I not read somewhere too where you guys did a show with Cradle of Filth?
Oh, yeah, so we were meant to play a festival. This is a deep cut. I like this. This is really good. So we were meant to play a festival. There was a festival getting put on in a place called Durham, where it's near where we live. And the promoters and event organizers were like, "Oh, we like your band. We want you to play." And we were like, "This is insane." And they were like, "Oh, the lineup is like Cradle of Filth, Harriet. There was a question as to whether or not Bullet were going to headline one of the nights at this like castle in Durham." And we were like, "This is like, boys, we have made it. Get the champagne out. We're playing a massive show." Um, and then it came around like a week before the show or something, and before this festival was meant to happen, and an email went out from the promoters going, we've not been able to source a stage to play on, so we're just going to cancel everything. And everyone was like, what? Like, you've been advertising this festival for like 4 or 5 months with all
Wow.
these insanely
Ah.
huge bands that were meant to be coming to like this tiny place in the UK, and everyone was like, "This is insane." I think Biohazard were on it. I
Wow.
think I think Creator were meant to be playing.
Oh my God.
Like it was like huge, but we were like we'd only just been like trying to take things seriously for like a year and a half. So for us, we thought we'd been signed to Roadrunner, and we were going to be like we thought we were touring like Europe for the next 5 years straight after this moment, and then they're just kind of like, "Oh, we don't have a stage, so we're not doing it." And everyone was like, this is
Which
very
is
weird."
which is
But
which
yeah,
is which I guess we can probably chalk it up to that. It wasn't ticket sales that definitely canceled it because you got all those bands on there. I'm sure it was going to
well,
sell.
I would hope it's
Um,
not ticket sales, but if it
yeah.
is ticket sales, maybe it was down to the fact that it was in a tiny village in the UK
Mm,
that probably wouldn't be up to having that amount of footfall coming through it. Like, when you got download, it's next to an airport, and it's got
right.
like the highways agencies kind of, well, like any major festival, the councils and the local kind of like sort of constituencies take into account like how the roads are going to be busy, and it's like this place is the roads are destroyed if there's a tractor going too slow, man. Like you can't just have Cradle of Filth turn up. So it was like,
Hell,
Uh-oh.
it would have. Hell, the village would have.
sorry, my mother phoned me.
Oh no, you're fine.
No, you're good.
Yeah. Hell, the village would have turned into a cradle of filth.
No, yeah. Yes.
Well, it's like when we went to Louder Than Life earlier this year. I mean, I-65 is right here, running through Louisville. The airport is here. The concert venue is literally right here.
Ah!
I mean,
Mhm.
so. Uh-oh.
He dropped himself.
Yeah, he did. That's right. He's got the link. He can come right back.
Yeah, he'll be right
But,
back. That's-
Again, that's why we do this shit live, because it's
Yeah.
just
Well, I mean, the mishaps make it
yeah.
make it for a more entertaining show. I think so.
It's
I mean,
the
we've all had them, so
yeah it's the charm of shit just happening,
Yeah.
as it comes. So
yeah. So
Hello, I'm very sorry.
No, you're all right.
My mother phoned me, and then my phone decided to just stop working.
Yeah, no, you're fine. Do you like, Mom? I'm on an interview. God.
No, please, Mom. I swear this is my real life, Mom.
Yeah, yeah.
uh,
Go do your show with your metal friends.
It's so cool, man. Like my parents don't really understand metal at all, but they are at every single hometown show.
Oh, see, that's
That's
cool.
awesome, man.
And they are absolute legends, man. Like back when, like, before none of us could drive, they used to put our guitar cabs in the back of their truck and drop us off at like rock bars in town so we could.
Now, see that. Now, see, I like that.
I'm getting like hammered. This needs to stop. Like, what? Do not disturb. How's that happened?
Oh man.
It would be funny as hell if one of us had his phone number. We could
They're right.
fuck around and call him.
Facebook call or something.
Yeah.
Dear me, gentlemen, I'm very sorry. Like,
Third time's a charm, man.
It's okay. It's fine. But no, it's. I mean, it's good to know that.
I would have.
It's good to know that that you have the support.
Exactly.
Of your parents, even though they're like, oh well, this may not necessarily be our taste, or it's like you say, we're not really sure we understand it, but I mean, it's something he wants to do, so it's good. It's
yeah, man.
That's
Very
always
lucky.
good.
I mean, I'll send them new demos of stuff, and anytime like a song's a little bit heavier than some of the older stuff we've done, my mother's always going, "Well, I'm not sure about the screaming, but I think it's great." But it's like, I mean,
my
that's
God,
great, man.
hilarious.
It's so good. Or like sometimes, because my parents have kind of learned how to like talk about things within songs. So like there'll be a song that's got like loads of like mad heavy on like double kick, and like our drummer Matt's just going ham. And then my mother would be like, what about a nice bit, it's a bit more of like straighter groove with less double kicks, less of the machine gun drums. And I'm like, no, more heavy.
more machine gun drums. Yeah,
more.
Well, at least they're willing to learn. I mean, I mean, they won't be record producers or anything, but they're willing to learn and at least know some of the lingo and all that stuff.
Yeah,
so,
man.
I mean, I've been listening to heavy metal for shit. I mean, I don't know how long, and I still don't even know everything. I don't know.
Dude,
I mean, I don't.
Everything.
Yeah, I mean, I don't play an instrument. I don't write. I don't record. I'm just a fan. I mean,
man.
So some of this stuff, when I hear it, I'm like, that was interesting. What do you call that? I mean, I still do it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
I still do it.
it's just like we're not, we can't go and listen to like a guitar chord and say, oh, man, you should have did a G instead of a C, because I don't know what the hell a G and C sound like. So
Yeah, that's the thing is, I mean, I just know, hey, that was awesome. That was heavy.
Right, yeah.
I mean,
yeah, man.
So yeah, we are not. I'm not a musician. I'm, so I mean, I listen to what I like, and if there's something that I listen to and I don't like it, I'll be like,
Yeah.
well, I didn't like this about it. I liked this, I didn't like this, and
Yeah.
so yeah.
I think that's quite along the lines of what we've become as a band, to be honest with you. Because I mean, like our guitar player Ewan, he writes like 80% of the music, and he's like, theory wise, he knows like a fretboard on a guitar. He knows if he
Mhm.
wants to play a D chord, he can do it in so many different ways. But we aren't like we know time signatures and that's about it. I mean, like I used to play guitar, but Ewan became so good at playing guitar that I was like, I don't need to even try and play guitar anymore. I was like, he can play guitar, and I'll just try and make the most unhuman sounding noises that I can possibly do, and that works great with me. But I mean, for us, the merit we get from our own music, we don't get any of it from like listening to it and going, oh yeah, well that lovely diminished chord in the bridge is fantastic. Like we've never listened to our own stuff and done that. We listen to it, and if all of us go, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, so there you
then
go. That's
then that's when we're happy. So
yeah.
that's that we make our music to taste and feel, and if we all listen to it and go, I'm stoked on that, then that's how our music leaves and goes into the world. Because if someone in our band started turning around and started trying to add like modes and mixolydian phrygian sort of like tones into it, I'd be like, you've lost us. Does it go gum 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 and sound heavy? I'm stoked. That's when I'm locked in.
Yeah. So this is pretty much.
It's a great
I
description.
could easily sum up me as a producer. I would be like, "Hey, we need a blah right there."
If I was a producer working with bands, and like if I had a band in that I liked, I'd just pull up a song from a band I love and go, can you make it sound like this? This is what we want to get. We want it to be like this.
We can't if
I'll
we
just
want to
turn
be
on to
sued.
any band ever and be like,
That's probably what I would do. Yeah.
Uh,
just be like,
Yeah.
oh, this bit needs a bit of a Kublai Khan. Like anything like this, just rip that off,
oh,
bro. Just do that. It's great.
Yeah.
love Kublai Khan, man.
Yeah.
Oh, what a band.
I've seen him a few times. Actually, I've been able to see those guys a couple times. So
Yeah, never seen them yet. I just feel like I would just melt watching Matt Honeycutt. I'd be like, he is the dude.
yeah,
He is the dude. Like being able to walk around, like some of the mosh calls he has, man. Like there's one video I saw, and it's me and my best friend. Anytime we talk about like my band playing a show, because I'm very fortunate as well. Like I've got incredibly supportive parents, but I've also got like the best friends in the world. I mean, when we were playing last Saturday, I was looking at this crowd, and it's like it's the weirdest feeling when your band's playing a gig where you cannot see a friend in the crowd because there's so many people. It's like it was this like I can't see Ryan. I started to panic thinking that he wasn't there. So I saw someone that knows him, and I just went, "Where's Ryan?" And she went like this, pointed behind us, and I saw him. And there's a clip of me playing the show, and I'm in the middle of singing a song, and I stopped and I went, "There he is!" like this, and started laughing. And then at some point during the night, he came crowd surfing over the barrier, and I was like, "Ah, there he is!" But at any time we're talking about Rituals playing a gig, Ryan's like, "When are you gonna say the Kublai Khan thing?" And there's this video that we refer to all the time because it's Matt Honeycutt on stage, and he's walking around on this stage just jacked, and he's just going, "Applesauce, guacamole, show me a dead body," and I'm like, "That's the best thing
yeah.
that anyone's ever said." None of it makes sense, but it's the best thing anyone's ever said.
Yeah, it doesn't have to make sense.
No,
It's fun.
man.
It's so funny. Like we first saw those guys that was at a festival like years ago, and he had the dreads and stuff then.
Wow, man.
So like when I seen them more recently, I'm like, damn, did they change singers? Because I don't remember ever like watching videos or anything where he cut his hair. And I
Yeah,
said,
yeah.
and I kept listening to it. I said, no, he sounds the same. And then I got to looking it up, and it's like, yeah, he just cut his hair off. I'm like, oh, okay. So it was so cute too because like they were doing like sound checks and stuff at the festival, and he had his daughter, I think it was his daughter, he had on
Oh,
the
that's cool,
stage
man.
with him and stuff. So she was real little at the time. So she's probably like a teenager by now, but it's kind of funny to. I guess that's kind of one of the things that we talk about with the show is like we see things like that and we get to watch bands grow
Hmm.
and sometimes their families grow with them and we're kind of like, wow, that's crazy. I remember seeing that little girl on stage at 4 years old, so it's kind of wild to see them post stuff like, oh, there's my daughter's 14. Like what? Like Jesus
Yeah,
Christ,
man.
where'd that
Yeah,
time go?
yeah,
You
it's
know, it's
bad.
like,
It's bad enough our own children grow up right,
right?
in the blink of an eye. For Christ's sake, I mean, my
Yeah.
daughter's about to be 24. Hell, his kids are mid to late 20s at this point. So it's just like,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
God damn, man, slow down.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
wild,
They're about,
man.
yeah. Because so we was talking about that. So what is like? You ain't got to tell us your age, but what's the age group of the band in general? Like,
It's really strange because everyone seems to think we're the same age. I don't know whether or not that's a compliment to the guys that are older than us, or they're saying we look like hammered shit. Either one's fine. I don't mind. But like, I mean, me and the guitar player, so me and you, and I know I look like I've had a tough paper round, but that's because I've got an aversion to cigarettes and Guinness, and I can't seem to leave them alone. But so me and the guitar player are 25.
okay.
Our bass player has just turned 30, and our drummer is 37. I'm gonna say 37. I'm gonna stick with it. I think he
Oh
might be
wow.
38 though. I think I'm gonna say 37. But yeah, we're all like 25 to 37.
Okay. It's still like a thing to me, like with you guys being in your 20s. It's like we always talk about on and like it's always an ongoing subject with any kind of metal outlet, talking about how
Yeah.
where do they go from after the Metallicas and the Iron Maidens and everybody's done.
Uh-huh.
Well, I mean, we've had plenty of 20-year-olds on this show, so it's kind of
Yeah,
like,
a
to
lot of
me, like with me personally, I'm sitting there interviewing just like you guys, and I love your music, and I love everybody's music that comes on the show, or I wouldn't invite them. You know,
Exactly.
so it's a thing to where
Thank you very much.
I feel like, especially if you're overseas, I feel like it's harder to get noticed here in the States because
It
it's so
absolutely is.
saturated here.
It
It's a
absolutely
weird
is.
thing, man. I mean, like on our Spotify Wrapped sort of thing that came across, we've got
Right.
more listeners in the States than we do in the UK,
Oh wow, that's kind of
which is like
interesting.
insane. I'd just love to know where they all are because they don't see them on social media. I don't see anyone going like, yo, from like Detroit or like, yo, from LA. No one. Everyone's like, oh, I'm from London. I'm like, nah, bro. Like, so I
Yeah,
just
like no
don't.
shit. Yeah, really?
Like we've got people on our social media. We've got like incredible fans in Germany and stuff that like they're always messaging us and like saying like, I just want to say like, I showed this friend your music today and they loved it, and it's amazing. But like for me, obviously anyone in a band making music, the American market is like, it's the top goal because it's so far away, it's so expensive to get there. Like you can't go there unless you're really on a tour that's worthwhile because you'll lose so much money.
Oh
You're
yeah.
gonna lose money regardless, but you've got to lose money in a way that looks cool. You can't go to America and play to like 10 people. You've got to go and play to like 1,000 people every night. Otherwise,
Yeah.
everyone's going. They're losing money and they're having a terrible time.
Yeah.
But it's such a strange thing, man. I mean, I would love, like, for me, I've got like a list of big goals, but big goals for me is I'd love to tour America and I would love to tour Japan. Like Japan for me would be like, to go to Japan and play music would be fucking wild. But America's mainly at my top so that I can go to is it Bucky's? Is that how you say it? Bucky's or Bussies? I don't know. The place
Oh,
that's
oh,
just
Oh,
Bucky's.
Bucky's,
Bucky's.
yeah, yeah.
Bucky's.
Bucky's. Yeah,
Bucky's. Yeah, yeah,
You go.
dude.
He just wants to take a
That
picture with the beaver.
I
yeah.
just I just want all the food that's in there. So that's the only reason I want to tour America. And I really
Yeah.
want to. I wanted. There's just so many things in America, man. That like to be able to tour music over there, and for our music to have taken us there would be like, I'd probably just spend every day crying. To be honest with you, I would just cry every day with joy. But yeah, man, America's sick. I love America. Have I said that yet? Have I said I love America yet?
Hey, well, we got a few people that don't like it. We'll definitely trade you guys
Yeah,
out. I mean,
we definitely would.
I'll take a green card.
we'll, have to, we'll start doing that with citizens like the NFL. Just start trading people off to other countries.
Oh, see, I would be okay with that. I'd
We'll
be
trade
okay
you
with
these 6 for this 2, man. That's a good
Yeah.
trade. We're only getting 2. You're getting 6. It's like, yeah.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, I think the UK would happily take people that just want to come and vibe. So, well, it's the big vibe place, man. Everyone's just having a good time. Everyone's just happy. Well, not everybody, but the people I
Yeah.
like to hang out with are.
Yeah.
Yeah. that's kind of like what I always like. I hate about the Vegas. Like over here, everybody talks about Vegas. Oh, everybody wants to go to Vegas. I said, man, ain't nobody happy in Vegas. I'm tell you right now because ain't nobody win. Everybody ain't winning, so they can't be happy.
Yeah.
Absolutely, man. I like for me, like the places that I'd love to go in America. I mean, oh, by the way, I know we were on here to talk about my band, but fuck my band
No,
because you
you're
guys
good.
are American,
Hey,
so I
it's
want to talk about
hey,
America.
like we said, man, we're getting to know the music and the people. So hey,
Yeah,
it's
man.
part and parcel of the same thing. So it's fine.
Yeah, I just want to I want to go like because I've got a really good one of my oldest friends lives in North Carolina and he lives like out in the sticks like makes his own moonshine out in the sticks and like
Hell yeah,
that's where I want to go, man. That's
yeah,
where I want to go in America.
yeah.
Like
You're my kind of guy. That's where I like. I
that's
hate
where I want to be,
I
man. I
hate
want
the
to be
hustle and bustle of the city, man.
hustle and bustle of cities is not my thing.
Yeah,
Me and my
me either.
girlfriend have just been out to the shops, and it's a Saturday, so there was people everywhere, and we were only in a tiny, quiet part on just the outside of Newcastle, and I wanted to fight everybody. I was like, the sooner we leave here and the sooner we get home, the happier I'll be. And she's like, it's going to be over so soon. I'm like, it's not over quick enough.
Right.
So I just I love real quiet places, man. It's my
And
favorite
here,
thing.
like right now, here, like we got plans on going doing some shopping later after the show too. And I'm
Yeah,
just like,
we're going out
because
tonight.
we're in Christmas time over here and all
Yep.
that stuff,
Yeah,
so it's
dude.
even worse. So I'm just gonna be like, all right, I'm ready.
Put
A
me in
little bit
coach.
of
I'm ready.
yeah, a little bit of herbal courage
Yeah.
instead of the
Well, I mean,
instead of the liquid courage, it's
I
the
mean,
herbal courage.
I don't smoke it, but I have took some for pain. But I do CBD because if I don't do that and I get out in public with, oh man, I would probably have anxiety and be like, hey, 2 minutes in, I'll be like, all right, I'm gone. We're done.
My wife is like that, and don't
Yes.
get me wrong, I'm not averse to crowds because I know that like if you're going places, there's gonna be people. Like you go to a concert, you go to a hockey game, you go to a shopping mall, and like Jason said, especially this time of year, there's gonna be people. I
Yeah.
don't mind being around a whole bunch of people in general. It's just when you get around a group of people and then other people don't know how to act when they're in public. I know that doesn't make any sense when
No, absolutely.
when you're going to a place where there's a lot of people, but then people don't know how to act around other people. Like there's no etiquette or it's like people when you're in a large group, they walk around like they're in a vacuum, like there's no other people around so I can act however the fuck I
Yeah.
want.
Yeah.
So
Well,
it is a very it's kind of a I know that's a weird perspective to have, but
No, I fully agree with it, man. I mean,
you
do
know.
you guys have the thing over there? Because this is one of the British public's favorite things to do that makes my piss boil. And it's very simple. It's that you could be walking in a shop or on a street, and you'll have someone in front of you, and they're walking at the same pace, and everyone's having a good time, and they just stop.
Oh yeah, no, that happens here. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay, sweet. Yeah, I just wanted.
Yeah, that happens
We've all
here.
got the same problems, man.
Yeah,
It's
it
that
happens here.
there. Woohoo!
Yeah, get out of the way. Get out of the damn way. I mean, it's
Like,
just
I know I've said this before, but like I'm bad about doing it because most of the time, like here, people are bad about just they're on their phone the whole time while
yeah.
they're
yeah.
walking, and and if they're heading toward me, I'll stand there. And my wife's like, "You're gonna have to move." I said, "Nah, fuck them. They need to watch where they're going." So and I've had
Well, see
plenty of
that,
people
but,
like bump into me and go, "Oh, I'm sorry." I'm like, "Yeah, you really are." So
well, that's the difference between Jason and myself. Jason's like 230 pounds. He's solid. I'm only about a buck 65. So I probably get freight trained by certain people. So
no, I'm
Just get a
more in the
phone in the face and knocked on the floor, man.
yeah. So
I'm more in the 250 realm these days. I've been eating, so
well, that's okay.
It's Christmas
That's all
time.
right.
We're allowed to be wherever we want to be, man.
But well, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Here's one thing that annoys the fuck out of me over here. I don't know if you guys get that over here. People walking around
oh my god,
acting like they're talking on their phone like they're about to eat a Pop-Tart or a piece of toast or something with their speakerphone on. Do you get that shit over there?
Dude, we don't get that as much. You get them every now and again. It's the people with AirPods in, but they are having the loudest
Oh
conversation
yeah.
ever. Like they'll just be. I was in a coffee shop ages ago, and there was this dude just sitting there, and he's like, Yeah, so I'm gonna be I'll probably be out here in the I'm like, dude, there are other people sitting in here, man. You can't just be like screaming into your AirPods. It's like, how loud have you got those things? How loud is that person's voice in your ears? Because it's like it's a quiet coffee shop, man. The
Yeah.
vibes are being ruined as
Right.
we speak.
So you'll appreciate this. So we were recently at a grocery store. It's been a few months back. Of course, my wife hates taking me anywhere when stuff like this goes on. But
I can only imagine
but
why.
there was a lady had her hand and they were talking about, I don't know, it's like, oh well, you know, he's a piece of shit anyway, talking about somebody's baby's daddy or something. I don't know, man. It was just like, I'm just like, dude, nobody wants to hear your conversation. I'm in a grocery
No.
store trying to shop, you know.
No
So
one.
so they get close to like the medicated aisle or whatever. So I walk up and I'm yelling at my wife from the meat section, going, "Hey, make sure you get that stuff for the genital warts over there on the bottom." Yeah, yeah. And like this lady, and she just looks at me like, and she goes, "Hey, I gotta go. There's some people over here talking stuff I don't want to hear." I said, "Well, that makes two of us, lady."
Yeah. Yeah. Dude, if I was next to someone who were like having like an outwardly loud conversation about something pretty sensitive, I'd probably stand near them going, "Yeah, he's a bitch, and yeah, he's a bitch. I hate him." I just get involved, man. I just get stuck in.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, if you're going to involve the public
that's
should
right.
get involved.
That's right.
I mean,
Absolutely,
that's a
absolutely.
great point of view.
I am all ears for your drama. Let me listen to more. Thank you very much.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, I mean, you do get emotionally invested. It's like, he is a son of a bitch. You're right.
Yeah.
Your girlfriend's just like, who? Oh, it's that guy.
Yeah.
That's funny. But
No spatial awareness.
we were talking about crowds too a minute ago. I think the difference with the crowds that, you know, with like shopping and then like concerts and say hockey games, NFL games, you have a common, you have a common factor when you're going to the
Yeah.
concerts and the
That's
NFL.
true.
Like when you're out in public and shopping malls, I mean, you don't know probably it's probably the country music people. They're assholes, but
I think you do get that, like,
hey, if they're gonna blame everything on us, we're gonna blame everything on them too. So
there you go. Yeah.
I think you do definitely get like people, like the majority at a show. Obviously, everyone's there for the same reason. Everyone's there to have a good time, but you do get people. I mean, we played a show in London, October it was, and like I had to kick two guys out of the show
Oh, wow.
mid show because they were
wow.
so drunk. They were like, you know, when you got like a mosh pit opens up in a
Oh, sure.
crowd, and you've got the people that are stood on the outskirts of it, and they're okay being on the outskirts, but they're on the outskirts because they don't want to be in the mosh pit, but they're happy where they are. These guys were so drunk, they were like making their way behind people and then throwing people into the mosh pit who didn't
Yeah.
want to be
Oh
involved.
No,
no.
that doesn't
But
work.
it was like, it was getting pretty rough. Like there was some people getting thrown off the floor. And then there was people in the audience starting to kind of like square up to the guys who were drunk, and then there was this total thing, and I just pulled the song, and we stopped playing, and I just started like screaming down the microphone at these guys. I was like, "Get the fuck out!" It's like
Yeah, good for you.
screaming at them, and like these guys ended up getting pulled out of the room. And then like I had this moment where I went off on this huge big like rant because I was like, everyone's in here not just because they love music, but like a show for the majority of people, whether they know it or not, a performance and a show and a gig is like, it's an escape from everything else in the world. It's like
Mhm.
3 hours of not having to think about that, like, you know, a family member's maybe just died, or they're going through a breakup, or like they've you know, they might be in debt, or like something's not going well. It's a few hours to not think about real world problems.
Yep.
Mhm.
And it was like these two guys kind of came into the show and were like, "I'm gonna ruin this for all of you," and it was like I was pissed, dude. So I like, but the whole crowd were really like standoffish about it, and like because they knew that was happening, no one was really getting involved. So the moment these two guys got kicked out, the whole room just turned into a war zone, and we started the next song, and the entire room became a mosh pit, and I was like, ah, okay, they were ruining the vibe for everybody.
Right.
So
Yeah.
like you do get it happening, but I think it's few and far between, because the majority of people going to a gig are going to it because they have something in common with everybody in that room.
Yeah.
And having something in common with that many people in one space 9 times out of 10 is really rare. And like to be able to stand in a room with people and go, I would actually probably be friends with every single person in here.
Yeah.
We don't as a species get to enjoy that, because everyone's got so many different things that so many strong beliefs and so many different like political views and things, where everyone's always at war with each other, and it's like for 3 hours everyone's in the same room, everyone's friends, and it's like that's why gigs are so sacred. So like anytime we see shit going on, it's happened before as well. We've had to kick people out of shows. It's normally because they've had too much to drink and then they
Sure.
just become a bit unaware of themselves.
Right.
And I'd never see someone or meet someone that I've kicked out of a show and judge them for it afterwards. I'm like, dude, you were drunk. Like, it happens. But in the moment of all of that, it's like, get out. Like, you're gone. You've been ejected from the show, and
Yeah.
that's it. You've had your privilege. You've
Oh
ruined
yeah.
it,
Yeah.
but you're not about to ruin it for everybody else.
Yeah. Buying a ticket doesn't give you carte blanche. So
Right.
Yeah, no.
So,
let me.
so,
Speaking of having the same thing in common, as far as people at a show,
Mhm.
when it comes to, and I've seen this a couple times just this year, and
Mhm.
the I don't know how things are politically over there. I know a lot of this. I've read a lot of the stuff you guys are going through, to where like, hey,
Yeah,
you can't post an opinion on the internet, or the police will
yeah,
come
man.
arrest you and shit. But
that's dumb.
the things are pretty divided over here, and
Yeah,
there's been a couple of artists. Hell, I think one just in the last week and a half or so, who said, if you believe in X, Y, and Z, don't come to my show.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm.
how do you, having said that, the whole commonality thing about everybody just being a fan of a band and showing up to show,
Yeah,
how do you feel about that? Because to me, it doesn't make any sense at all. Because obviously, if you're a Democrat, you're going to have, like if you're in a band, if you're
yeah,
leading a band, like if you're a Democrat, you're going to have Republican fans. If you're a
yeah.
Republican, you're going to have Democrat fans. What sense does that make, to be like, if you believe in this, that, and the other thing, don't bother coming to my show? What kind of sense does that make, to tell people not to come to your show when, well, first of all, they're part of your lifeblood.
Yeah.
And what business is it of yours who they vote for or
Mhm.
whatever?
Yeah. I think that's really, really interesting, because I think that's one of the main reasons that people become so divided, and people are so divided. Like, no matter where you go, no matter who you meet, you're gonna have people who are like, I mean, I'm very naive. I don't understand the difference between like Democrats or whatever. But if I applied it
Right.
to like our side, and you
Sure.
had like kind of like conservative, or
Yeah.
you had sort of like Labour supporter, or like whatever, for me, there's a line between in which everything's sort of like, this is okay, and then there's also a line of like, well, this is not okay. And so it falls across of like, you can have a different political opinion, you can have a different, you can pretty much have a difference of opinion on absolutely everything.
Mm-hmm.
The level at which that we have with our shows, and it's a blanket, you like, if you believe in like these things, do not come to our shows. And it's like, you can support whatever political party you want, we don't care, that doesn't define you as the
Mhm.
person you are, unless through the things you believe you are racist, and you kind of like, or like sort of misogynistic, or like have like a believe in what people like should or shouldn't have sexualities.
Mm-hmm.
That sort of stuff, don't come to our fucking shows. Don't come and be a part of who we are. If you're gonna enter a space and project hate within it,
Mm-hmm.
if you're gonna enter a space filled with other people, and you're gonna project hate and go, I hate this, 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 and this. If you're gonna come in and be racist, you're gonna be misogynistic, you're gonna be any of those things, don't come to our fucking shows, because our shows aren't a place for anyone to come in and talk about things they don't fucking like.
Mm-hmm.
That's not what it's about. But if you believe in insert a political thing, fucking come to our show, man. Absolutely, all day long. I don't care. Just don't come to our event. Don't come into a venue that we're playing and preach hate, because we don't make music for hate. The
Mm-hmm.
world's got enough fucking hate in it. There's
Mhm.
people dying all over the world every single day over hate, and it's like
Yeah.
we're trying to have a moment that gets us away from that,
Right.
and like, you know, I think artists turn around and saying, "Don't come to our show if you believe in this person or that person." It's like there's a fine line between, like, if you turn around and you go and if you like Adolf Hitler, don't come to our show. Fair play. Don't come to our show
Yeah.
if you're a Nazi. But like people trying to like stop people from going to shows because they've got a different political belief, man. I mean, like, that's when the world really is broken.
Mm-hmm.
The whole point of having a different political belief from somebody else is that you're supposed to be able to turn around and go, I don't agree with it, but I don't dislike you as a person.
Right.
You should be able to do that. You should be able to have a normal human conversation with somebody, but have different beliefs. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you know, whether or not it's like I like I like tacos. Oh well, I like burgers. Oh well, fuck you. No, it's like that's how ridiculous it sounds to me when it gets down to that point, because
Yeah.
it's like you believe in something else, and it's like as long as the belief that you are like invested in isn't filled with hate and like serious like sort of intent to harm other people, then believe whatever the fuck you want, as long as the things that you're invested in are peaceful. Dude, go wild. Like, if you want to come to our show and you want to sniff the world's amount of cocaine before you go into it, go fucking wild, baby. Sniff all that cocaine. I don't care. Just come and have a good time. And I think that's what people need to try and get back into and become investors in again, is that like everything should be fun, everything should be good, and that like the moment that people are applying themselves into things that are good for not just themselves but for everybody else is the moment that would have probably a bit of a better and healthier world to be around. And then you wouldn't have people having to turn around and say, don't come to my show if you are a Democrat or whatever.
Yeah.
I think like we've talked about this before too, but I think that we we use concerts and ball games and all that stuff to get away from those things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when they start incorporated into the things that we're trying to get away from,
Yeah.
and they start incorporated into those things, that's when it becomes the problem, because nobody wants to hear that shit, because we're not here for that. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's
Yeah.
like,
There's
you
enough
know,
of that stuff on our
if I,
Facebook and everything else on a daily
I
basis.
tell myself, if I want to hear all that shit, I'll go to a council meeting. I won't go to a fucking concert. You know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah.
it's like, I think too, like, I don't know why a lot of these artists are doing saying stuff like that, because for one, you can't know, who comes into your show and what they support, for one. And
Mhm.
two, you're killing your fan base, because now you're telling half your fan base don't come to my show.
Exactly, man.
So now if Paramore or whoever it was, I think I
It
read,
was.
yeah,
It
I think
was.
Haley Williams was talking
It
about that,
was.
Really?
It was her.
and
Yeah, it
was
was her.
saying, yeah, so now you're playing venues with 10, 12,000 people. Well, you probably just knocked yourself down to a 1,500, 2,000 person venue, because nobody wants to hear that shit
That's
from.
insane. I like Haley Williams, like voice of a generation and artist of a generation.
Mhm.
Like, I understand, and I think this is the problem that maybe that we're all just seeing so heavily, is that like politics and like and personal beliefs are genuinely separating people
Mhm.
so much that it's like we've potentially even hit a point that's like you can't even come back from with it, and
Mhm.
it's like that's like that's heartbreaking to see that the world is in a position where there are artists turn around and saying, if you believe this thing that realistically doesn't change anything, people having different political opinions
So I think,
doesn't define them for the person that they are.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, unless it's like that person is explicitly preaching hate about things and being an arsehole across all platforms,
Yeah.
that's when they're not welcome. But it's like that's when it goes as far as saying, like, well, it's trying to blanket a belief of like something
mhm.
so niche like that
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and trying to paint everyone in the same shade it's broken, man. Because
Yeah.
that's like, you know, just because all these people have a certain belief does not mean that every single one of those people are the same person.
Right, because I mean, when as far like just narrowing it down to the political spectrum. I mean, I'm pushing 50, so I mean, at this point, I've voted in several presidential elections. I've voted on both sides because I mean, you know, every election has different issues that get addressed, and
Yeah.
some politicians have addressed them in different ways, and it's like, all right, well, I agree with you this time and I agree with you this time. So I mean, you can probably pick any political platform, whether it's immigration or whatever you want to choose. And I mean, sometimes I've agreed with this guy, sometimes I've agreed with that guy, and sometimes it's been this part of the argument, sometimes it's been that part of the argument.
Yeah.
So I mean, but at the same time, I mean, I'm not going to walk into a concert venue going, where are all the where are all the people who look like Jews?
Yeah, right.
I mean,
Exactly, man.
for fuck's sake, So I mean,
Yeah.
I've talked about this before. What I do look for, what I do notice when I go to a show is I look around. I'm like, there are kids here, there are old people here,
Yeah.
there are black people here, there are Asian people here. I take note of the different
Right.
demographics because I love the fact that we're all there for the same fucking thing. That if I'm looking around and I'm looking at the crowd, I'm like, this is awesome. Why can't this, like you said, why can't this bleed over into the other side of the doors? If I notice anything, it's that. It's like everyone came together to, like you said, for 3 hours just to watch this band. Because I mean, we earlier this year we went to Nashville to see Accept and KK's Priest, and I mean, Accept has been doing this shit for 50 years.
Yeah.
So there were kids, literal. I mean, literal kids. I mean, there was a kid in the stands who had a sign. My first concert. This kid may have been 10, 12.
I was going to say like 8 or 10 or something.
Yeah, 8,
That's
10,
so
8,
sick,
10,
man.
12. And then, you got Wolf Hoffman up there on stage. Mark Tornillo just turned 70.
Yeah, man.
Wolf Hoffman's been doing this probably damn near his whole life.
Yeah.
They're up on stage. You got a 10-year-old in the audience. So I mean, that's the thing I love about it. Anywhere from 10 to 70, they're all in the same place. That kid's probably gonna be a metalhead until he's Mark Tornillo's age at that point. Getting to experience that. So,
and the thing is like, to me, when I see artists do that, I think about it from our perspective because I would never go out and say, hey, don't listen to my show if you believe this or believe that, because that would kind of defeat what we're doing here. We're trying to get these bands in front of people. So the more the merrier. I don't give a shit if you're, black, Asian, gay, straight. I don't care.
Yeah, we don't
because I want
Dude,
you to
go wild.
because I
Be
want you to
whatever.
listen to Rituals.
That's exactly the thing, man.
I mean,
it's just, I think it's really sad.
Yeah, unless you're unless we get a member of a band who comes on here one day and starts, spouting off a manifesto. It's like, okay, let's cut this off right now.
Right.
So, I mean, so, or, we've only, Jason, how many people have we booted off of our social media in the last 5 years? Like not even a half dozen?
No, probably.
I mean, so
we're about to make it 7, baby.
I think only 2 that I can remember.
Yeah, so I mean, we can count on one hand the amount of people we've actually had to like remove from our social media. So, I mean,
and one of the guys I felt bad for because he was trying to promote a band, but he kept posting the same song every day. I'm just like, dude, we appreciate it. We got you, but if you got some new material, let's post that and not keep posting the same song every day.
It was starting to turn into spam, is what it was.
Yeah, so I'm just like, yeah,
it really was. I mean, it was the same video clip every day, sometimes more than once a day, and it's like, hey, pump the brakes or give us some other content. And
then he tried to backlash us because, well, you're supposed to be supporting. I am trying to support you, dude, but you're like, there's other
write a new song, man.
Yeah,
right. And there's other bands and people promoting stuff on our thing, and they can't get their stuff seen because you're saturating the news feed with the same shit over and over.
Yeah, so he wanted to get pissy with us as the admins. It's like, bye.
But I mean, it's like I said, it's kind of unfortunate, but we're we're not going to take any of that shit. We're not going to let you come out here and like I've deleted some stuff on there that I thought was too political on my on the thing because that's not what we're doing here.
Yeah, but
We're
we haven't. Yeah,
Yeah.
but at the same
well, I
time,
haven't kicked
we
them
have.
out, but I
Yeah,
have
we
deleted
haven't.
some of the posts. But
Yeah, we
because it's
haven't gotten rid of.
and I let them know why I did it because
Yeah,
it's too
Yeah.
political. We're not doing politics. That's not what we're
keep it to
doing
the
here.
music. That's
Yeah,
right.
if we,
Yeah. That's
you
what
go
it's all
to
about,
that's
man.
a whole different platform if you want to do that stuff. So
Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, like, I have had people ask us sort of like, and like, I don't mind discussing it and talking about it at all, but like, I've had people ask me, like, oh, like, so you make music and you know you're an artist like that's quite young, so you must like think so and so about like sort of like political views. And I'd be like, I will be down the middle of the road and straight with everybody. I don't support a soul. I don't support
that's the
anyone
right,
best.
that's the best
politically
way to be.
because
Mhm.
I like, for me, I've always said they don't genuinely support me and what I do and the people that I love, and they don't support the everyday people of the world. And I've always just been a very straight up person and just said they don't care about me. Why should I care about them? What I
Right.
do care about is what I do, what I love, what I know is what I love, and the people around me, and that's what I focus on. And I've never been a person to no specific like political ongoings. That's why like I am blind to the world of politics because I don't get it. So I'm
Right.
never
Yeah,
I'm never going to be a person that's going to learn it because I don't have an interest in it. What I do
Mhm.
have an interest in is art and music, and I, you know, I don't know the good or the bad about
yeah,
anything political. All I know
Mhm.
is music, and I know the creativity behind that, and that's what I channel all my energy into. And like a lot of people kind of go, "Well, you should know," and I'm like, I shouldn't. I shouldn't have to know anything. I know what I love, and I've focused my entirety of my life
Mhm.
force into that, and
yeah,
that's what I'll continue to do. So that when someone can come to a show, I'm not on stage spouting about like different things. I'm not talking about anything other than the music and the reason that everyone's there to relax. Like, yeah, if there are things happening in the world that are fucking, you know, traumatizing, then every now and again you need to take a moment to stand up and talk about it. But
Mhm.
majority of people don't want me to turn around and start talking about anything other than a song. So that's what
Mhm.
I do because
Well,
that's what I know I can do.
that's another thing we've said many times on here is we love Machine Head. You know, we know Rob Flynn's a liberal guy,
Exactly.
but I've never been to a show where he's got on
he
a mic and talked about
he
politics. He
he
does not
Yeah.
do
never
that during live shows. So
never
he keeps,
mentions it. Never
you know,
mentions it once.
if you're willing to keep it separate, great, man. That's
Yeah.
you know that's awesome. But you know, we're not. Well, I don't come to a show to hear you spew off how you hate or like somebody.
To be
Some folks,
Yeah.
preached
I
to.
don't
Yeah,
care.
Yeah,
You know.
that's one of the main reasons. Rob Flynn is one of the main reasons that I have the opinion that I have, because out of every time I've seen him, I saw him in Edinburgh, and someone shouted something out from the crowd, and he kind of turned around and he was like, that was something political. He was like, I don't care. He was like, we're here for music, and he was like, and my job right now is to entertain you, so I'm
Mhm.
gonna do exactly that. And I was like, my fucking god, like
hell yeah, man.
that's what it's
Yeah.
about. Like the dude's gonna stand on stage, riff and scream for 3 hours straight. Let him do that, man.
Mhm.
Let him
Hmm.
do exactly that, and he does that night after night, and he's an absolute god. The man is the best of the best, and
Yeah,
that's what it's
he's
about. That
yeah
is what it's about.
he's man. Every and I like what and hell, Machine Head. They're actually about to come. They're actually about to head that way
Yeah,
over.
man. They're
They're
over in Glasgow doing a night with Machine Head thing, and it's like
yeah. I
three
love that.
hours.
God, I love
So
that. The evening with God, I love that. I
oh,
love
it's
that
so good,
format
man.
so
Yeah.
much.
How many
I
times have I
saw
been to
them
that?
on the Burn My Eyes tour,
Yeah,
and it
so
was
do
the
we.
Yeah, we
first
did.
time I'd
Yeah.
ever seen them. And it was like I came out, played the entirety of Burn My Eyes,
Oh, so good.
and then came off stage. And I turned around to my guitar player I was with. I was like, "It's like half." Like I was like, "It's 9 o'clock." I was like, "Are they done?" He's like, "No, no, they're about to come out and do an hour and a half of hits." I was like, "Eh,
Yeah.
what?"
Yeah,
And I
man.
was just like, "What the fuck?" He just played this fucking insane album.
Yeah.
And then he was just like came on stage with another lineup and played an
Yeah,
hour and a half.
that's what I loved about that because I mean they played "Burn My Eyes" with Chris Contos and Logan Mader. They played
Mhm.
that, then they went off, and then they came back out
With like Vogue on guitar.
with Vogue. Oh
Yeah.
man, Hey, I tell you what though, I know that Vogue went back to Decapitated because that was a that was a kind of a temporary arrangement from the
Mhm.
get
Yeah,
go, and Rob knew it, so
yeah,
they had an understanding. But so I'm glad I got to see Vogue play with Machine
yeah,
Head. But now that Reese Scruggs came in, man, oh dude, oh
yeah,
it's gonna be the same vibe but a different vibe at the same time,
yeah,
and I'm glad that Rob has got that an evening with format going again
yeah, man.
because they're going to be over there in your neck of the woods here relatively soon, and which is awesome because I know that they're going to be back over here at
Mhm.
some
Yeah,
point, and I cannot wait for
And
them
they
to
and they
dive with
and
Machine Head.
and they always hit Nashville up.
They
That's
always
we can always
come.
it's always
They
a
always
guarantee.
come
So,
through here. Yeah,
mm,
they almost always come through here. And what's awesome is we're only like 2 years away from the 20th anniversary of the Blackening.
oh, dude,
oh
don't
dude.
go.
Mm, mm.
It's
Oh
gonna
man,
be if I don't have like a 4 hour Machine Head concert,
I'm
and
telling
I'm
you,
just like 2 beers in
I,
either hand,
I'm
18
well,
cigarettes in my mouth, and
You're
just
just
crying.
you'd be stone cold Steve Austining that shit
yeah,
right here. So I mean, just
yeah,
Yeah, man.
yeah. You bring
Honestly, what a fucking band, man.
we'll have
you bring that up, and I just now gotten to see. It was recently we went and seen Nonpoint and Upon a Burning Body, and Nonpoint did 2 albums in their entirety that they had out because they came out the same month, 5 years apart.
Yeah,
So they
Oh,
did like
yeah, yeah,
so
yeah.
they did like the it was called the Painful Statements tour because it was To the Pain and then Statements both came out at the same month, just different years. So they did both of those albums because it was a 20 and 25th anniversary. So I was like, man, this is gonna be cool. And then this like I thought that concert was never going to end, dude. Like because I mean you got two full albums of music. And you're just like, damn, this
yes,
just forever.
that's so cool,
So
man.
it was good. Like I said, I love those, and then sometimes I don't because like I did the Trivium and Bullet for my Valentine tour where they
Yeah,
did that, and then I'm like, man, I really wish I could have heard some of the new stuff from Bullet, but you know,
mm,
Kayla
it
said the
is
same thing.
it
She was
is
like,
it is what it is
yeah,
though.
Kayla
So
said the same thing. I was like, you got to realize that Bullet was playing. It's the Poison
right,
Ascendancy tour. They were playing the Poisoned, and
hmm
they
yeah,
were playing, and Trivium was playing the Ascendancy.
which
So I
which
mean,
yeah,
in a in reality that's the probably best selling album anyway.
yeah, but I mean,
So
she was like, they didn't play this song, didn't play that song. It's like, well, you're gonna have to wait for another tour to hear those songs. I said
right, yeah,
they were literally touring on their
yeah.
20th
yeah.
anniversary.
And
So
now they're making a new album, so we're going to have to wait even longer. So
right, yeah.
That's like the Slipknot tour that just happened. Well, not just happened, but beginning of this year happened, where it was was it 25
25.
years? Yeah, 25
25.
years for self-titled.
Yeah.
Um, and the amount of people that I know that went that were like, "Well, they didn't play Duality. Well, they didn't play Before I Forget." And I'm like, it's an anniversary tour.
right,
Like they're gonna be
Yeah.
playing that entire album. They're like, "Well, I didn't know any songs." I'm like, "It's because you're not a real fan of the
Slipknot fan,
band.
yeah, right.
You know the
Yeah.
radio stuff, bro." Like I know so many people that went to those gigs and was like, "I didn't know anything they played. Like, don't know what was happening. It was really strange. There was like loads of loud songs." I'm like, "Yeah, like." They'd be like, "Well, then, like, like I heard Eyeless, like that was class. I know that one." I'm like, "Ah, right, yeah, sounds well." That's what I like when a band does that, and they don't tell anyone they're about to do that.
Yeah.
Like, because people who know the music and know the bands will be like, "Oh, well, theoretically they're going to be playing that in full, and that's going to be a full like performance set, so they're
Oh
not going
yeah.
to play any of the songs." But
Yeah.
yeah, it's so cool when bands do that, man. Hopefully,
Well,
one day if we release enough music, and if 20 years someone still cares, we can play some dirty little bars and play it to 20 people and then just can play an album in full.
well, the funny thing is, you would you'd wanna come full circle to that venue where you played to the 30 people. That's what you do.
Yeah, I mean that was
You come full circle to that venue where all right, this is where we got our start, and this is where a few people came to see us. You come back to the same place and see how many people you can squeeze in that motherfucker. So
that would be pretty cool, man. I mean, it's a horrific venue when you the way you load into it, man. It's like you go from like a busy main street in Newcastle, and like in the UK, Newcastle is kind of dubbed the party city. So
okay.
like everybody who knows of it is like everyone goes there for like kind of like hen do's and stag do's, which you guys call like bachelor parties and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
So it's basically, Newcastle for a long time had a reputation for having the cheapest way to get drunk because the alcohol was really cheap and you could buy lots of it for very little money. So basically, that's the whole premise of this city. But when you load into the venue, you've got to load in on like a really, really, really busy street, and it's straight downstairs, then round, and then down more stairs,
Oh,
which is
Jesus.
fine because when you load in at like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, no one's out apart from like a couple nutters. But it's really bad when it gets to like 11 o'clock at night and on a Saturday night and everyone's outside drunk and you're loading your gear up and you've got like lasses walking around like just off their nut and they're just
Yeah.
like, oh, is that a guitar? You're in a band. And you're like, oh, this is chaos. I also am aware I'm like hoying out accents that you guys are like, what is happening? Because none of this stuff will be like applicable, but basically it's mental.
Yeah.
But if you guys are ever in the UK, the only city
Man.
you should be going to is Newcastle.
I'll
Screw London.
noted.
It's too
Noted.
big. It's too loud. If you're ever in the UK and you're ever nearby, hit us up and we'll show you to
Man,
Newcastle.
man, I
It's
absolutely will.
beautiful.
Because I mean, I'll go there, and obviously I
So
want to go. I want to go see all the Aussie
I'm,
sites in Birmingham and everything.
Yeah,
I'm,
man.
So,
I'm going to be in the area next year, so don't tempt me. So
dude, yeah, dude,
That's
go.
right.
yeah, because
Let
we're
us
actually
know, man. I mean,
we're actually planning a trip to Ireland next year, so we're going to be
oh,
yeah.
dude, best place
So
ever, incredible. And the Guinness, if you do drink Guinness, make sure you drink it. Just don't go to the tourist places. Go to like the places out of the way because cheaper and it tastes even better. Even better.
um, so yes, you kind of brought up the your music catalog a little bit, so I was kind of interested in why it's just been EPs so far, or and if you guys are planning on doing anything full length in the future, or you're going to stick to EPs, or
We would absolutely love and hate to do an album. Doing an album would be incredible. But I just think I think in this format of where the band's at, an album's just not the one at the moment. It wouldn't be worthwhile. It would be like a year's worth of work, and because we don't have any like label backing or financial backing, it would be a year's worth of work and crippling debt to
right?
then have everyone listen to like 2 songs off it and not listen to the rest of it. Like I
Mm-hmm.
know you do get a large portion of people, including myself, when like a band release a new album, I'm like, right, first song, listen all the way through. But a lot of people don't work like that, and they just listen to like, if you've released 4 singles, they will only listen to the singles, and there would be a large portion of work that isn't appreciated in the same way. Whereas for us, EPs have been something that we've been able to package and like send out to like PR and everything, and basically get people on board to listen to it and look at it, but without the same kind of body of work outside of that. Because I mean, it takes us about a year anyway to make new music, just because we're such perfectionists on it, which is something that we're trying to change because we want to release more.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but to take that amount of time and money out, we also just don't feel the demand is just there yet. We want to be in the position to release a debut album and it be like a real moment in our lives where like we can go on a big headline tour to promote it, and there's a lot of variables that we just want to make sure are in place before we do it. Hopefully we'll do it, but it needs to be right place, right time, and it needs to be a record label paying for it, please, because I can't afford to do that.
Yeah, right. Well, man, it kind of goes back because we were talking to another band. I guess it's been a couple of years ago now, but they actually said that. They said, "Yeah." So we're kind of like, "Why are we going to make 12-song album when you're only going to listen to 5 or 6 anyway? So
Yeah,
why not just put out the 5 or 6 and you just listen to them?"
yeah.
And I never looked at it that way until they said that. And I'm like, that's kind of a good perspective, I guess. So,
Oh yeah, man. I mean, like if you open up Spotify, I think you can only do it on a desktop. But if you open up Spotify and click on a band's album, you'll have it has all the numbers and streaming numbers
mm-hmm.
next to all
Oh
the
yeah,
songs on the album, and there'll be like a handful of songs that are like millions, and then there'll be some other songs that even the same with like Bring Me the Horizon and stuff. Like if you go on Ammo, and like some songs on there have only got like 250,000 streams,
mm-hmm.
and it's like for a band that level,
Yeah.
that's the decrease in numbers. So imagine a band at our level where if we got 250,000 streams on a song, we would explode, but like it with absolute joy. So the songs that don't get the same appreciation, it's like it's almost not even worth putting them out.
Yeah, I guess you keep up with that? Do you know where your Broken Spirit sits at right now?
I think it's like 78k.
Oh, you're at 80K now, so yeah,
Ooh. No, I
yeah.
wish
So
I
yeah,
wish that was
with
the money
Spotify, no.
side.
yeah.
With
I could probably
Spotify, yeah, no, that's
I
not
could
going to
I could
happen.
probably send you that in U.S. currency in your banquet order. So
Yeah, right. Yeah,
here's $25
Yeah,
for
man. I
your
mean,
80,000 views.
yeah.
that's like what? I mean, it's 0.003 pence per stream. So you're looking at probably about £3 or £4.
Yeah, it's not much. It's
Yeah.
so sad. It's so sad.
Yeah, it's one of the things
But
we
again,
always
it's
bitch
we've
about
talked about it before.
with bills. So.
You're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't.
Exactly.
You're not getting paid, but
It's
if you're
actually
not on there, you're not getting heard. You're
yeah,
fucked either way.
80,000
Exactly.
streams is like $240 US. So
Yeah. There you go. I mean, like you see it all the time of like these massive big bands with like a cult following who are like, we're taking everything off Spotify, and then everyone who listens to them is like, oh, amazing, well, I'm now going to delete Spotify and only listen to your music on CD. And it's like, yeah, that's great, but we couldn't do that. We can't afford to do that. So when
Right.
you've got like all of these people who are like trying to become almost elitist about it, and they're like, oh, well, I don't listen to Spotify, I only listen to platforms that like give artists more money. And it's like, well,
mhm.
any streaming platform you listen to an artist on, they're not getting paid
No, they
No,
effectively.
no,
aren't.
no.
Like,
No,
I
no.
don't care that Apple Music pays more. We're still not making
I
any
think
money off
what's
it.
the one?
And it's
Yeah,
like,
no. I mean,
the,
you're
the,
still because I mean, you're still talking about fractions of a cent.
yeah,
A bigger fraction of a cent is still a fraction for crying
Fraction
out
of a
loud.
exactly.
cent. Yeah,
You're not
It's
even. I mean, you're not even talking about whole numbers. You're not even. You can't even hold up a coin of any denomination and be like, you're getting paid this for every time someone listens to a
yeah,
song, and you can't snap a damn penny in half.
yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
some people might be able to. I sure as fuck can't. But I mean,
No, mate,
no, I
exactly,
just
man.
yeah.
But it's
Well, I
like,
mean, it's just ridiculous. I mean, we're not even talking about actual real world can hold in your hand amount of money. You can't even. I
no,
mean, you know,
I think the
it's just
I think the big one that I come across lately was Tidal. They actually pay out 0.013 cents, so it's about point 0.01 more than
but
Spotify.
still,
So
it's still
yeah,
when
yeah,
you're
it's
talking
still
about. But see, the fact what's fucked up is you're talking about point anything.
yeah,
The fact that we have to break it down into point and then pick a number.
yeah.
It's just
I think
ridiculous.
SoundCloud's one I always hear about too. So it's
I
kind
mean,
of
it's
Yeah.
just
you know,
Like
it's
I
but
think SoundCloud have just sorted a thing where I think they've got a print on demand service for merchandise now, and I think
oh
it
okay,
also works with vinyl. I think I'm not too sure, but I think like this is one of the big things for me is like I love that people listen to our music. I do. It's incredible, and I couldn't be more fortunate that people take the time out of when they could be listening to bigger artists and they listen to us because that's like thank you so much. But
mm-hmm,
what people don't understand is like the financial costs of not just releasing the music, but like even when it comes to going somewhere to play a show, like driving in a van to go and play a gig somewhere. Like if I could pay for our fuel off Spotify like streams, I would. But when you get your quarterly kind of amount of money off Spotify and you're getting sent like £400, it's like, right, well that's gonna put fuel in the van for like one tour, if that.
yeah,
It's like the main thing that supports an artist, and the reality behind it is the main thing is buying a ticket, going to a show, and then if you have the money on top of that to buy a t-shirt, because
mm-hmm,
like you know. I always love it when people are like, "Oh, you're in a band, you must make loads of money," and it's like I make absolutely nothing, bro. Like I've never had a
Mhm.
payday from this band in my life.
mm-hmm.
Mhm.
But what we do get is amazing people that come to a show and buy a t-shirt, and then we take 4 t-shirt sales and we fill our van up so we can drive to the next show. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
that's the reality behind it. Is we aren't selling t-shirts so that we can all go home and not have to go to work and pay our
Mhm.
mortgages or pay our rent off the back of t-shirt sales. No, we're selling t-shirt sales so that we can go to the next venue, so that we don't have to then take money from our paychecks that we all work full-time jobs doing, so that we can live and pay for the band. Like
Yep.
those t-shirt sales are getting us to the next venue, they're getting us to the next city. And that's why it's like it's so important for people to be buying tickets to gigs, and people to be buying tickets. Like I don't know what it's like in the States, but in the UK, trying to get people to buy tickets in advance for a show is impossible. Like,
Really?
oh, dude, like the amount of shows in the UK, especially in like the underground scene, they get cancelled a week before the gig because everyone's just turning up on the night and paying on the door. And it's
Mhm.
like advanced sales are what lets the promoter, the venue, the bar team, the band, management, like every single person that is involved in that show, buying a ticket in advance is what's telling them, okay, well, there's going to be this many people, so we need this amount of security, we need this
Right.
many people working the bar,
Yeah.
we need to like bring this amount of merch. There's been times where we've got friends that have like driven to a city to play a gig and they've sold like 30 tickets in advance, and they're like, well, this is going to be shit, so let's take less stuff. Or like you get there and the venue's only got one person on the bar, then you've got 120 people coming and buying a ticket on the door, and it's like, if you'd all bought a ticket in advance, A, it'd be cheaper, and B, we'd know you'd be there.
Right.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's a really strange industry, and I feel like as well it's the only industry you can be involved in that the progression isn't the same. Like if you start up a business and you get X amount of sales, your company will grow. If you start anything up and it grows in its natural state of that field that it's in, then it's more natural and it's more normal, and you know kind of how that's gonna go. No band is the same. Every single band is different, and every single level of growth is completely different. And that's one of the coolest things that we have, but also one of the worst things is there's no field guide. Nobody knows
Yeah.
how this is meant to be done. And it's like you could try something that somebody else did, and you could post the same TikTok that somebody else did, and they got 20,000 views and 8,000 followers, and you could post it and get 300 views and 20 likes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
No. Yeah.
Nothing,
That's
nothing's the same. And I think it's
that's
like
that's what we
especially
deal with on
Mhm.
TikTok. Yes.
it's insane, man.
Mhm.
But I mean, like, I know I'm very conscious of the fact that every now and again I can sound like I'm going, fucking hell, this is shit. But I love it. It's the
Hmm.
best thing in the world. It's just, it's such a strange industry because it's the biggest industry in the world.
Yeah.
Like, find me someone that doesn't listen to music and that, like, they are medically certified not a psychopath.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
every single person every single day listens to music,
Yeah.
whether they actively put it on or whether it's like just on in the background.
Hmm.
And it's like it's the most densely available industry, and it's the most dense, like most under-supported industry in the world. Like,
It's so weird. It's so
and
weird.
Mhm.
it's like that's why people doing what you guys are doing and like taking time out of your days to run this kind of thing is what's helping things.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because like platforms like yourselves, all these huge big media outlets had to start somewhere, and this is exactly how it is.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's why when we get the opportunity to do things like this every now and again, and like they always turn around and go, oh, thanks for coming on. I'm like, nah, fucking shut up, thanks for having me, thanks for having us
Yeah.
on here, because you guys have got people that listen to what you do that have no idea who we are. And it's like that's why it's the most hard industry to make it in. But I've always been a firm believer of it's. I've made the best friends I've ever made working within this industry, because everyone's going, fuck me, this is horrible, isn't it? This is shit. But we all absolutely love it
Yeah,
because
we do. This is, I mean, I mean, hell, we only do this, we do it once a week. We do it anywhere from, 2 to 3.5 hours, and then, it's actually easier it's actually an easier week for us when we have a guest, because then
Mhm.
we have a narrowed focus. We know
Yeah.
exactly what we're going to talk about on the show. So on the weeks where we don't have a guest and we have to fit, we have to do our regular talk show format. We have to do we have to get our news stories together. I have
Yeah.
to we each have to go through and compile our list of all the tours that are being announced. We have our theme of the week that we build. So it's actually more difficult. I mean,
Mhm.
it's not difficult, but it's more time
Yeah.
consuming when we don't have a guest than when we do. Because when we like I say, when we have a guest, all right, we're talking to this band, so
Mhm.
we need to listen to this and this,
Yeah.
and that's our focus for the week. So
And
but
I put together a weekly playlist of new music that's coming
yeah,
out, so
Yeah,
so
man.
you don't have to go through and like, I don't know. To me, like a lot of times on Spotify, the all new metal page, there's a lot of stuff that's not metal on there. So I try to like weed a lot of it out and
yeah,
be like, okay, that's that's probably not gonna you know appeal to the people that watch our show. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's
yeah.
some
So
stuff on there. So I try to keep things to where I think it's appealing to the people that actually watch the show or listen to us at some
yeah,
point, because we, honestly, right now I'm looking at this thing. It's got like one person listening, but once I go back into this like a week later, YouTube's probably going to have 18, 20 people done watched it. So I mean, it's kind of,
Oh, dude,
so it's kind of like people watch it after the fact. They don't really watch the live version, but
yeah.
but
this
Well,
is the
that's
thing as well. Is like I think a lot of people seem to think that like the numbers game is I hate
yeah.
numbers because numbers are great and numbers are awful at the same time. And
mm-hmm,
it's like this industry of what we do isn't about what we've done right now.
Hmm.
It's about what we've made and where it goes, and
yep,
then
yeah,
that's when it brings people and people come and people sit. Like we put a song out, and it's like song could be out for 2 years before enough people listen to it for us to go, oh, let's play it live. Like it's never about the here and now
mm-hmm,
moments. It's always about how it's received further down the line. And
yeah,
I think it's like that's another mental thing about our industry.
yep.
Imagine if you ran a bakery and you made 30 cakes and you went, it's fine, they'll sell in a month. Nah, they're fucking not. They're done. Like every it's always like there's no
yeah,
roadmap for how anything works. And
yeah,
it's like I love being able to I love being in the position and being fortunate enough and knowing that I've worked hard enough to be able to talk about stuff and know that I'm not full of shit. Like I've learned enough things to be able to talk about the industry and go, wow, this is really cool. It's horrible, but it's really cool. And it's like having the the kind of fortune that we have, whether it's like any platform, anything we do, and anything we get to talk about it, it's like you will have a hard time trying to shut any member of our band up because we will just get on. And we're like one of those little toys, man, that you wind them up and
oh
then you
yeah,
just
yeah,
let them go. Yeah,
yeah.
it's
And
exactly
that's
like those
hey,
things,
and that's
man.
fine. That's totally fine. Because honestly, if we have a guest on and we're not doing the talking, that's actually the preferred thing. Because I mean,
Yeah, man.
people who watch the show, I mean, they pretty much know us by now. I mean,
Hmm.
it's not the point. It's really not the point. But the we're coming up on 5 full years of doing this,
Nice, man.
and the amount of bands that we've gotten to interview, some of the places that we've gotten to go, and some of the people, like you said, some of the people we've met, there's no way I would have met some of these people had I not.
Hmm.
And we're just doing our own podcast. We're not
Yeah, man.
I mean, we're not putting on concerts, we're not we're not putting out music. I mean, we're producing content, but you know, we've still gotten to meet members of bands who, I've listened to for a long time. Well, both of us have listened to for a long time, actually.
Yeah, man.
And if it wasn't for the fact that, we had a podcast and we were at some of these places, aside from buying a, potentially overpriced meet and greet price and
Mm.
only getting like 30 seconds to say, hey, I'm a big fan, and shake hands and take a picture, fuck off. I
Yeah.
mean, we've had full blown sit down conversations with some of these people that we wouldn't have gotten to do otherwise.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Some of the
Absolutely, man.
members of some of the members of some of these bands. I mean, we got to have a 45-minute conversation with Brian Slagle from Metal Blade Records, of all people.
Fucking hell, dude. That's
Yeah,
class.
yeah. And I mean, if it wasn't for this show, I don't think there's. It's one of those odds are low but never zero kind of things.
Right.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Well, I mean, you got to have a podcast to be part of the podcast
you do, but I mean,
convention, I guess.
but that's the thing is, if we didn't have a podcast, we wouldn't have had a reason to go to the convention, and
Yeah.
we wouldn't have been on the list to interview Brian Slagle. So I mean, it's a causality thing.
Which so let's back up. Let me tell you what kind of person Brian Slagle is. So his Saturday got filled up. We
Right.
were left off of that.
Mhm.
We didn't get on that. So he sent an email to the lady that's putting everything together, and he said, "Hey, I see where 3 of these people wanted to interview me. I'm actually in town early, so if they want to do this Friday afternoon, I'll happily sit down with it." So honestly, it was better for us because
was.
we were last that day, and I was like, "Hey, I know you only got a few minutes." He said, "I got as long as I want, man." He said, "You're the last people. We can sit here
That's
forever."
sick.
Yeah, because
So we wound up getting the better interview out of all of it because of that.
Yeah.
And I thought, man, if he had not have done that, we would have never gotten
yeah.
to talk to him. Period. So I was just glad that he took time to include us and then to put us on the last and then talk to us as long as he did was just like, I was like, wow, dude,
Yeah,
this
because
is
he
just
didn't.
crazy.
Yeah, he definitely didn't have to do what he did, and then because like every interview that we had scheduled was segmented for 15 minutes because I
Yeah.
mean there were all these other tables, so he only had to talk to us for 15 minutes. He sat with us for 45.
That's sick, man.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
So
Yeah, and then the year before that, I kind of used my persuasiveness, and Ricky Rackman was there, and he wasn't even a guest. He was there doing
But
he was there doing his own thing. He said, "Hey, I tell you what, you buy tickets to my show in Nashville, and I'll come over and do your podcast." I said, "Done." So I said, "Done,"
and no one will ever be able to take that away from us
nope,
now.
nope.
That's cool as fuck.
Yeah. And now he's
So
now he just recently got he's going to get inducted into the Hall of Fame, the Metal Hall of Fame next
man.
year. So it's cool. It's cool to have those moments. Like I said, it means a lot to us to be talking to people that we grew up knowing who they were, but never in our lives that 20 years ago we were like, we'd never beat that guy. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So to sit down with those guys is like, man, this is crazy. And just the same with you guys. Like we sit down with bands like you guys and a couple other bands that we could probably think of right off the top of our heads that we've talked to. And in the meantime, they're like posting all this stuff about, oh, we just got on the Download Festival. We just got on, this, and we got on this interview with,
Full Metal
Eddie
Jackie
Trunk or something.
Yeah.
I'm like, these motherfuckers ain't finna talk to us. They finna cancel. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, we ain't nobody compared to what they're about to be doing.
Yeah.
But they didn't. They came on the show and was like, hey, the little guys just as important as the big guys sometimes.
Yep.
So, and like I said, you guys are doing all the work, man. We're just trying to get the work.
We're just trying to share the work. Yeah.
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 Because,
it's massively appreciated. Like it really, really is.
And I feel like this is one of those bands where I feel like, man, just at any moment, y'all are going to catch that fucking wind, dude, and the sails are going to fly over and y'all are going to be gone. So
all we're doing, man, is just grafting and working because it's not just the performing and making achievements and achieving things that we love. We love absolutely every single bit of it. Like I don't even like I'm not even saying it to be like, oh, we're just saying that because that's what we should say. Like every single aspect of being in a band, even some of the shit stuff where like, yeah, but I'd rather be doing this than sitting at home. Like
that 100%.
it's so sick to be able to do what we do and to be able to just like, speak to people on the other side of the world about something that I'm passionate about.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So I'm glad you kind of brought up some shit stuff. I'm not sure if this is shit stuff to you, but I was reading an article. You may know where I'm going with this.
It's a matter of perspective.
I was reading an article that said you guys played in front of 50 topless men doing crab dances. I got to know this story. So,
so we played a gig in like I hadn't heard of this place until the tour was booked. But it's a place called Nuneaton in England, and it's like middle of nowhere. It's near Birmingham. And we played this venue, and it was like insane. It was like it may as well have been like a small O2 Academy. Like
Okay.
it was huge, huge venue. We rocked up and we were like, why are we playing here? There's gonna be nobody here. Like this is ridiculous. We shouldn't be playing here. And it wasn't very busy, but there was just these guys in the crowd, and like these huge, big, bearded men. And we were just in the middle of playing, and then all of a sudden they just started taking their shirts off. Like I'm not making this up. They all just like got naked, and then just started going like, and I was like, I'm singing this song, and there's like 15, 20 fully grown dudes at this point as well. Like we looked like kids. I mean, I had no beard, I had long hair. And I'm on stage like, I'm scared. I want to go home. And these guys were all just like, just going wild. And they did it for pretty much like the entire show. It was very strange. It was very strange. And then we finished the show. We got pizzas and everything. And then I went into the bar downstairs below the venue. And these guys were gone. Like vanished. Like they came, took their clothes off, put their clothes back on, went home.
Well,
like it was
wow.
wild.
That's crazy.
Insane.
Yeah, there must be some kind of ritual.
Yeah.
No pun intended. But
I need that ritual to never happen again.
Well, on the plus side, if you're going to be a crab, I guess none eaten would be the place to be. So
Yeah.
That is the one, man. Yeah. That is the one where everyone should be, apparently.
You know what, Jason? You know what though? Lewis said if we're ever in Newcastle to come by, if we ever go to a show, we know what to do at the show.
I'm not shirtless, maybe not getting naked.
No. I'll go tarps off. That's fine. But
yeah.
I would if that happened again. I think I'm so accustomed to strange things happening on stage that like I would actually probably throw up out of fear. It'd be like, it's happening again.
The funny thing is me, I'd probably be telling everybody in the thing, hey man, when Rituals comes on, they love it when you take your top off and do the crab dance.
Yeah, you have to, yeah.
Terror ensues, man. I was very, very scared.
Oh yeah, that's fucking hilarious.
Of course,
I know
then after the show, be like, it was just the wankers from America. We did it. So I mean,
fucking American wankers.
Oh, just the Yanks taking their clothes off again. It's all right. It's all right.
Well, the funny thing is, I mean, that happens at every NFL game anyway. So it's not.
Well, that's true.
It's not like it's that big of a deal here. It'll be like 5 Below in Buffalo, and there'll be like some asshole with a big red, white, and blue B on his chest going.
Well, I mean, that's like the Notre Dame game I just went to was like that. I guess they did like some ritual toward the end of the. I keep saying ritual, and I don't mean to pun it, but
it's fine, man. There's a shop in the UK that sells cosmetics, and it's called Rituals, and it just has Rituals written on the outside of the shop. And if I had like a £1 coin for every time someone sent me a photo of that shop going, ho ho ho, didn't know you had a shop, like we would probably be making an album because we'd have enough money to do it.
Have enough money. That's funny. I know we're like running up on about 2.5 hours here. So,
does the shop know about you guys?
Oh, the shop tried to buy our Instagram name for their UK Instagram handle.
Oh, come on.
Oh,
yeah. They offered us like £1,500 or something. And I was like, I know how much money you turn over every year. We've researched you. We know about this.
Yeah.
We know you can give us more than £1,500. I think we declined their offer and we're like £20,000. They just said
Jesus.
nothing.
Oh wow.
Yeah, but it was a funny moment, like.
Well, hell.
So do you guys have the
collaborate?
So you guys have the patent on everything, or?
On the name and everything's all locked down and everything like that. Yeah, so that's all good. Pretty much sound.
That's why they have to go through it that way. Then
Yeah, no, I mean, it was a long time ago now, but at the time it was happening, we all were like, "Oh my god, we're gonna make loads of money! Oh my god!" And then we ended up making absolutely nothing. We just got ignored.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
it
What's
was them
crazy?
that asked us in the first place. So that's cool.
I don't know how it is there. I know, like here, we because I was looking into doing that with our show in the beginning, and then I was like
Yeah,
researching it, and they was like, "Oh, well, you pay this much money, and then there's no guarantee you'll get patented, and you won't get your money back." I'm like, "Well, why the hell am I going to give you $700 for nothing? Like, what the
Yeah.
fuck?"
so one of the oldest things that one of the things I learned ages ago about one of the easiest ways to kind of like copyright something and to like make sure that like that's yours, no one can pinch it, is email it to yourself. As soon as you come up with it, email it to yourself, and then I mean I know this at least works for here. I don't know about America,
Yeah.
but also write it in a letter and post it to yourself and never open that letter, so that
Mhm.
4 or 5 years down the line, if someone turns on and goes, "Oh, I've come up with this," you can go, "Nah, no, you didn't, because I've got this letter
Yeah.
that I haven't opened, and it's all dated through the postal system, and I've got an email dated on here that's all dated, and that's it."
Well,
Interesting.
the good thing about what we've done is we've always done this from day one live.
Yeah,
So I can go
you've got
back to
that kind of
YouTube. I can
timestamp.
go back to YouTube and say, "Hey, man, we did this on January 1st, 2021." So I mean,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
whatever you want to do, we can go to court, whatever. But
Yeah.
but I'm, to me, I'm not too worried. There are a couple other Metalheads Unite things on Facebook,
Yeah.
but they don't have as much traffic as we do.
No, no,
And
Yeah.
then
not
and then
not
plus
nearly and not nearly as active.
no, and then
Yeah.
plus one of the reasons why my Metalheads is all compounded is because of that, because
Yeah.
they're separated. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm not going to get it confused. I'm going to do something to make it more unique. And everybody always asks me that. So why is Metalheads all together? I'm like, well, because it needs to be.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's another Rituals, but they haven't made music since like 2017, so I think we're pretty
Yeah,
safe.
yeah. I know I've seen like there's a black metal or death metal band named Ritual Wool without the S, but
Mm.
yeah.
There's another band called Neon Rituals
Oh yeah, I've
that
seen that
Yeah,
on
I
there
saw
too. Yeah.
that. Yeah.
actively going, and every now and again they'll just message us or like they'll like comment on stuff or something, and I'll see it and I'll be like, oh, it's no, it's fine, it's okay, it's just them.
I guess like one of the things I did want to ask you guys before we wrap it up, but
Mhm.
is there like did y'all make any hard copies of the new EP or anything, or like CD
So
wise, or is it just all digital?
we were going to, and then we wanted to kind of see how everything went and like see how the reaction was from the EP. But I mean, it's been the best sort of response we've ever had to music we've released. That I think we are probably going to be looking at doing like a
Okay.
very small select run of CDs. Um, but normally we don't bother just because it costs so much money to make them.
Right.
But I think purely off the back of how well this release is done, and like I mean, it's been the best ever release we've had yet. So we're just kind of like, screw it. We're probably going to look into doing like a really small limited run of something like that.
Hmm. Cool. Yeah. So well, let us. We'll be in contact and stuff because
Yeah.
I think we're following you on everything now. So
Mm-hmm.
if I see anything, I'll hit you up because
Yeah. I made
I definitely would love to have a hard copy of it.
I
So
made sure
Oh
we
yeah.
start. I made sure we started following on TikTok too.
yeah,
So
cool.
Well,
I
once
know
once we've
I
got
know we're following on
something
Instagram already. So yeah.
once we've got something like a hard copy made and put together, I'll drop you a line and I'll get you a copy sent out each. So you can both have one.
Oh no, we
Cool, man.
appreciate
That'd
that.
be
So,
awesome.
yeah, I guess that's
Hey,
the repayment for the banquet.
I
So.
actually I was and actually I'm actually serious about the beer, man. I mean, if we can
Oh yeah, we'll figure it
if
out.
we
Oh
can
yeah.
get some,
We're going to figure it out.
yeah,
I
if we
feel
can
I
get
feel like
some,
it was a challenge in the beginning. I'm like, oh, this is a challenge. I'm going to do this.
I'm locked in, dude. I am.
yeah,
I am like I will do whatever and pay some money towards this if needs be. Make this shit happen, man.
yeah. I mean, we'll try to get some sent over, man. I mean,
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
we were laughing about it, but I mean, we'll try to get some sent over there.
Yeah, man.
Even
That'd
if
be
I
unbelievable.
mean, the funny thing is, I've got contacts in shipping and receiving, so I mean, I can actually see if I can, if I can kind of, make the process a little easier. Because I mean, I deal with FedEx and UPS on a daily basis anyway.
Oh,
Mhm.
sick.
So I mean, I'll see if, I'll see if I
Yeah.
can kind of.
Make them pick it up at work.
Yeah, I mean, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
yeah.
I work in a brewery. If that makes anything better with receiving alcohol,
Oh,
You know what?
it
It
might.
actually might, because I could
yeah,
probably get it. I could probably get it shipped to a business easier.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So
I
yeah.
work. My job is to make and package IPA. So
Hmm.
Well, yeah, then
probably
yeah,
makes it
that
easier.
probably would be easier. But yeah, I mean, after this, we'll, I mean, hell, we'll work on emails and we'll get addresses and shit.
Fuck yeah,
We'll
man.
make it
That'd be sick.
happen.
He's sitting there doing IPAs. You know that boss is going to come in there going, "Who the fuck is getting Coors Banquet in here? Ain't no damn IPA."
This isn't hazy. I'm not happy about it.
It's not hazy.
Oh man, that's fucking hilarious.
There's no fruit in this beer. What the fuck?
Why does it not taste like IPA? It tastes like freedom. That's because it
Tastes like
is.
Oh man, so is there any like websites or anything like that you want to plug real quick? Or
Would just be the Instagram at Rituals UK. That's where we do everything. Everything is spoken about on there. From there it has the link to anything and everything: music, merch, shows, tours, and random bullshit.
Random.
Random bullshit. That's pretty cool.
There's nothing wrong with random bullshit. We've kind of
That's
like
right.
built
Built a
a
legacy over that.
foundation on it. Yes.
Yeah, man. Random bullshit's the one, man. We're all from Newcastle. We're just idiots who make loud music. So
Yeah, and good loud music too. So
Good
thank you
loud
very
music.
much,
Yes,
guys.
absolutely.
Appreciate that.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right, man. Hey, if you want to hang out backstage after take you off the full screen here, we'll get all that info together.
Yeah, sick man, no worries.
Yeah, cool. All right, man. Appreciate you stopping in with us, and then
Thank you very much. Cheers for having me, guys.
Yep.
we'll talk
Thank
to you
you.
again here in just a second. I'm gonna do a wrap up stuff, and then we'll get back with you.
Yep.
Sick.
All right. Lewis, lead singer for the Ritual. Well, not the Rituals, just Rituals. 'Cause
Rituals.
There is
yes,
a
you have to
difference.
you got to be
don't-
specific.
Don't want to mess that up. So,
Yeah.
but yeah. So
Yeah,
appreciate it.
give them the wrong band name, and they're going to end up with a website with guys taking their shirts off doing this.
Yeah, I do appreciate Lewis coming on and joining us today. Like I said, it was one of the ones I had been looking forward to. Being a metalcore guy, of course,
Yeah.
was like, man, I can't wait to get into this. But actually, I probably could have went 3 or 4 hours with this guy. I mean, honestly, he's very easy to talk to. I like that. So
Yeah. It's weird because I mean, I it seems like a lot of the bands we've talked to from the UK have just been
Oh, yeah.
super duper
yeah,
super duper chill and
It's like,
talkative.
all right, go. I'll see you in 2 hours.
I mean, hey,
Uh,
like I said, I mean, all the better. I mean,
well, yeah. I mean, it's the it's their platform. I want to make sure
It
they
is. I mean, it's their day.
get everything in. So
Yeah, it's their day. More power to them. Absolutely.
all right, peoples. As you know, we do have a 24/7 radio station, and you can check that out
Right now.
Is it 24/7? Yes, it is 24/7.
Yes, it is 24/7.
At the
All
front row,
day, every day. That's right.
thefrontrow.net/radio, and then you'll see the Metalheads Unite down there.
That's
Just click
right.
on that and start listening.
Yep. And you can follow us on all of our social media. We got our Facebook group and the Facebook page. Follow us on X, Instagram, TikTok, Twitch, Rumble, our YouTube channel, and then all of our playlists, the themes of the week, and our weekly new release playlist, and the previous band interviews are all on Spotify. Plenty of Metalheads Unite content over on Spotify. And if you prefer the electronic mail, metalheadsuniteusa@gmail.com is your email address for that. So.
I'm going to show you what I'm going to do to you at one point.
What you going to do to me at one point?
Yeah. Just to mess with you.
Okay.
I'm going to.
Okay.
Not too far.
Okay, this should be fun. I don't know. I don't know what the hell this is going to be.
Yeah, I'm going to just see you one time, just for shits and giggles. Let's see, he's still on here, and he knows what that means. So.
Okay, all right. Follow us on our socials. Oh yeah. That's way too many periods.
It got stuck.
Yeah, it did.
Oh, yeah. I always like sometimes I like get them too far apart, and you're like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Well, you would. I have a pretty good memory, and I'm surprised that I always see. Like, if I have to read it, just I always
I
forget
always
one.
forget one. Yeah, I
I
always
do. I
forget one
always
too.
forget one.
It's usually Twitch or TikTok for some reason too. I don't know why it's one of those, but
I
it's
usually
always one of those.
I usually forget Twitch or Rumble. I don't know why,
Yeah.
but
So.
but yeah, it's weird. I always forget one. It's strange, but
All right, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the interview with the Rituals. If you didn't get to catch it now, you can replay it on YouTube and Facebook for 30 days and Twitch for 14. And it'll also be up on Spotify within the next week or so, hopefully. Trying to get all that done before we go into the end of the year
the hiatus,
compiling stuff, because I'll have to be focused more on that. So,
yeah.
So hopefully
the actual true 2025
that's right.
year in review,
That's
not 11 months of it.
That's right. Yeah, because how are you going to say what's because Upon a Burning Body, like I said, just had a new album out this week. So how could you not listen to that and decide whether you want to include that or not? So
right, yeah, so dumb. 11 months of the year. Oh, this is our album. Our best albums of 2025. There's still 30 days left.
And it seems like it's always the bands are trying to shove down your throat too. So it's kind of
that's what it is.
It's kind of like screw it.
Yeah.
But anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed the interview. If not, you catch it later, and we will be back here next week, probably for one of our last episodes. We may have one, may have two. I don't know yet. Kind of depends on what's. I don't know my work schedule after next week yet, so I'm kind of like, so we'll if there's anything going different, we'll make an announcement next Saturday on the show.
That's right. Yep.
So till then, keep those horns held high. Jump in that pit anytime you